Good morning and welcome to Joy News at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM and hits 103.9 FM in Accra. In Kumasi, we are on Love 99.5 FM and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Sankara FM Yendi, Laura FM Laura, and Radio Max Takrady Get Radio TV, and online content on the myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS devices. Coming up, Medical Laboratory Professional Workers Union lashes out at government's lack of interest in resolving working conditions.
Up to now, Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, for the span of this strike, has never even placed a call that, come and let's dialogue.
Meanwhile, as a strike enters day 4, patients are the ones bearing the brunt.
I'm pregnant and I'm tired. The walking, sitting in the car, the movement here and there is very difficult to reach here.
Also coming up, Shraj formally commences investigations into the planned sale of SNIT's majority stake in 4 hotels to Brian A. Champion's company. We have details of that in business.
And in business, former Finance Minister said Tekwe warns Ghana's economy is still facing deep structural challenges despite the growth recorded for the first quarter of 2024 of 4.7%. We've got details on the Joy Business Report.
And later, Nandom Senior High School aims to eliminate Prempeh College as they qualify with St. Francis of Assisi Girls and Wa Senior High School.
There's a saying that if a snake decides to move like a snail, it becomes food for the hawks. So last year encounter, they were moving like snails.
If you see this uniform, start running! Start running! Run!
These are more with me, Mami Sinyamicha Thompson. Please stay. The Medical Laboratory Professional Workers Union has expressed strong dissatisfaction with government's lack of interest towards improving their working conditions. The union highlights that despite the indefinite strike to pressure them into swift negotiations, neither the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission nor the Ministry of Health have reached out formally to address the issues. Is General Secretary of the union, Cephas Kofi Akoto.
We served notice from 3rd of June. Unfortunately, till now, the duty bearers, particularly Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, has failed to even acknowledge receipt of the letter. I feel that Fair Wages should not be behaving the way they are doing. They are dragging feet and deliberately delaying the negotiation process. They are shouting in the media that we should go back to negotiation table. We are also asking them that let us engage. But yet, they are not availing themselves. Up to now, Fair Wages and Salaries Commission has never even placed a call that, come and let's dialogue.
Well, Cephas Akoto says leadership of the union is unable to call off the strike but remains steady to sit and negotiate with government when called.
Me as a leader, I find myself in a very difficult situation. When you turn to your membership, they say that you have gone to take bribes. There's something we can do about it.
Meanwhile, the situation has left many patients stranded and health facilities scrambling to keep services going. Here are some patients.
I'm pregnant and I'm tired. The walking, sitting in the car, the movement here and there is very difficult to reach here.
So they give me a lab test to run. I have to go to maybe the private lab to do that. But for them, I'm very, very tired.
My child is dying. I am begging you, government of Ghana. I am old. Where am I going to get money to access private facility?
And you heard the patients at some public health facilities complaining that they are unable to access services there. Moving away from there, the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Shraj, has formally reached out to the Minister of Agriculture, Brian A. Champon, and other individuals involved in the proposed sale of SNIT's majority stakes in 4 hotels. That's according to the petitioner, Not Tong MP, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, who is actively opposing the deal. In an interview with Joy News during a protest on Thursday, he said it signals the beginning of investigations into the matter. He called on Shraj to expedite work on the petition.
Yes, Shraj has written. They have told us that they are investigating. They have also informed us that they have written to all the people who have been named in our petition, that is SNIT, the Honorable Brian Champon, and all the others. So The investigations are ongoing. They've told us also to hold ourselves in readiness, which we are, because we've intercepted additional documents, latest documents, including, for example, the memos, which we intercepted recently, which revealed that the Honorable Brad Champon is offering way below.
Our election headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol Clean Fuel in full quantity, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, and AICPA together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants. Also, the German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental Wellness and Beauty. Also brought to you by Chopbox Technologies, a convenience service, and Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging gaps for positive youth development. Now, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's team has downplayed any impact recent National Intelligence Bureau report into who becomes his running mate will have on the party. According to the team, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia knows exactly who he'll choose. Dennis Miracles Abwaje is Communications Director.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's indicators for selecting a running mate is quite simple and straightforward. That individual who is a believer in the ideals and principles of the New Patriotic Party, that individual that has the strength which will complement his weaknesses, that individual that will bring on board the political capital, and that individual who, once a government is formed, would be able to complement him strongly to the.
Meanwhile, Professor Ali Duseidu, head of the Political Science Department of the University of Ghana, is urging the party and Dr. Bawumia to consider someone who appeals to the wider Ghanaian populace than just the party.
Though this poll points to him, the party will have to sit down and look beyond just the party response and look at character, experience, and other things that may be appealing and acceptable to the entire Ghanaian population, because that combination is what is actually going to win them the seat. The party's support alone will not be enough to get them 50+1.
And to the NDC camp, former President John Mahama has waded into the public debate on the acquisition of a Dutch passport and a Ghanaian PhD, blaming the current economic hardships of the country as cause for the debate. He is speaking at a lecture to commemorate the Christian Service University's 50th anniversary celebration in Kumasi.
Unspeakable corruption, nepotism, brazen theft, waste of national resources, impunity, and general criminality have become the hallmarks of Ghana's current government. There is widespread despair and anguish amongst our people, leading to an active debate that I have followed recently on our social media about whether securing a foreign passport to do menial jobs in Europe is better than holding a PhD in Ghana. It is a reflection of the adversity into which our nation has been plunged.
And that's former President John Mahama. Now, President Akufo-Addo has extended the appointment of the Auditor General Johnson Ikwamo-Esiedu for an additional 2 years. The extension was announced in a notice from the Audit Service dated July 19, which was addressed to all staff. According to the notice, Mr. Esiedu was originally due for statutory retirement on August 1, 2024. Now, let's do some climate focus. The Ghana Landscape Restoration and Small-Scale Mining Project is working with over 2,000 farmers in the Setra-Afram Plains to adopt eco-friendly farming methods to address unsustainable farming practices which have gradually degraded the land. Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin has more.
In support of the global restoration efforts advocated by environmental experts and organizations to rehabilitate degraded lands, the Setra-Afram Plains Traditional Council has allocated land for large-scale plantations. The district has also taken the lead in restoration efforts comprising about 50 hectares in the last 2 years. Dawood Abbas is the head of Environmental Protection Agency EPA at the Konongo area.
Due to the burning and poor farming practices, we've lost the richness of the land, and when we plant, we hardly get the produce that we wanted. So this project, Ghana Landscape Restoration and Small Scale Mining Project, coming on board, the farmers are trained on proper agricultural practices.
Mohammed Nuruddin with that report. While many schools are targeting to lift their first NSMQ trophy, Nandom Senior High School, its primary focus is to eliminate Prempeh College from this year's competition. Emmanuel Braikweko reports from WA.
Jubilant supporters of WA SHS after their school secured a slot at the National Championship of the National Science and Math Quiz. Their victory is the third consecutive qualification to the national stage.
Great WASEC! Great WASEC! They don't use first 20 elements for science and math quiz. We are ready.
There's a saying that if a snake decides to move like a snail, it becomes food for the hawks. So last year in council, they were moving like snails. And we were now taking them.
Is it the same thing that is going to happen if you meet the other schools at the nationals?
More.
If you see this uniform, start running! Run!
Nandom SHS, after failing to qualify since 2022, are back into the competition, but with a target.
Prepare is our target. Why are you targeting them?
We will add it to our records that we've won Prem.
Emmanuel Bright-Koko with that report, and that's how we end the bulletin here on Joy 99.7 FM. I am Amir Sinyamiche Thompson. There's more news on my joyonline.com. Business is next on the Super Morning Show.
You know, Papa see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that? Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panzapa. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation Movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman. Hey, Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Elam's story began 24 years ago, and it's all led up to this moment. From the first day in senior high school, the laughs when his friend Skelo had 0 in an exam, an M.T. fan getting broke, narrowly passing Prof. Shiwele's exams. He remembers it all, especially that long advice from Papa about what will really be at stake if he doesn't pass his exams. All for this very moment.
Elam Jakbata, first class honors.
Everything to look forward to. And just like Elam's story, Absa Bank believes there's something special about your story. And we invite you to write it with us. Your story matters. Absa.
No matter your water needs, Syntex has it all. Syntex Tank was first to introduce double layer tank, and now you can have as many layers as you want. Syntex Tank was first to introduce white inner layer tanks in Ghana, and now introduces the customer specs order, which will let you order any color and size you want. Syntex Tanks gives you the biggest warranty of 7 years, which no other tank gives you. So whatever your water consumption, size of project, or demand, choose Syntex Tank. Syntex Tank, stress-free. Syntex Tank, reliable. Syntex Tank, maximum guarantee. Call 0244-335-168, Kumasi 0505-555-666, or visit syntexgh.com. Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough.
Join us this summer for the prestigious International Conference on Property Investment and Profit Making, the ultimate guide to financial freedom. Delve into the theme, how to earn and maximize passive income through commercial property investment in the United States. Mark your calendar for 29th and 30th October 2024 at Trump Towers International Hotels, Chicago, USA. Register now to secure your spot. Early bird registration ends 15 July and standard registration closes on July 30th, 2024. Registration starts from $500 to $1,550, which allows you 2 nights stay at Trump Towers Hotel, Chicago, lunch buffet, welcome cocktail, conference ticket, and many more. For those in need of visa support to attend, visit our conference website on conference.chicagowestluxuryhomes.com and register to get an invitation, or call us on 0536-502295 for further information.
Hello,
Auntie Araba. Hey, Bugger, how are you doing today? I want to buy Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, but I don't have enough money. So what are you going to do? Can you give me the big size? You know, as for me, I'll pay the balance later.
Today, no credit. I haven't sold much this morning. If you don't have enough money for the big size, why don't you try the 120-gram pack?
There's a 120-gram pack? Introducing the new Pepsodent Cavity Fighter in 120-gram pack size. More affordable and convenient. Get yours today from any supermarket near you. Every smile matters. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello? Yo, bro! SG Ghana has done it again. Low interest rates on loans this year too. Yatisubium.
Kojo, I'm at church.
Better double your offering because SG Ghana is about to bless you. Yatisubium. Low, very low interest rates on loans this year too. It's difficult to keep good news to yourself, especially when it can transform your life and those close to you. SG Ghana went low on interest rates last year, and this year we are even lower. Yes, Yatisubium. Get the money you need to turn your dreams into a reality. Visit any SG Ghana branch near you and speak to our dedicated staff about the amazing Yatisubium loans today. You can also call 0302-214-314 for more details.
Kojo, it's 3 a.m. What now?
Yatisubium, oh, Yatisubium. Okay, bye. Societe Generale Ghana. The future is you.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
The future is you.
Yes, that's what they say. And according to the National Investigative Bureau, the future is Napu.
What?
But I have a question.
Yeah.
Who asked the National Investigative Bureau to do work for the NPP? Do
Um,
they work for the NPP?
Well, that was the same question when I heard the story yesterday. Unless it was an internal investigation for their own purposes. Oh, I don't know whether they did
But
it
what
for...
purpose would that be?
Well, intelligence stuff like...
For the NPP?
Perhaps they did for the NDC as well. We don't know. Yeah.
Well, I mean... but they are
I just want to believe that it was for their own intelligence. Yeah.
But the one they did for their own intelligence for the MPP has somehow
leaked.
Yes.
Which is a bit weird.
But no, who commissioned this work? Who asked the National Investigative Bureau to do this?
Well, like I point out, perhaps it was for their own intelligence.
I don't get that. I don't get it. I mean, I'm sure intelligence is an area in which I'm not an expert. But that is perhaps why I need some explanation.
Some explanation,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that's the only thing I can think about right now.
Somebody needs to explain to us why the National Investigative Bureau decided it was important for them to determine who would be the best running mate for the MPP.
I mean, what's worrying for me is that this information leaked somehow, and I don't know. It's just questionable how it got out to the public. But hey,
well, it's out now, so let's understand it. Let's understand it.
Okay.
Is that what happens? Is the party in power able to use state institutions to do their party research?
That's if that's what happened.
That's why I'm asking. Is that what happened? Anyway, the 6 a.m. news came to us thanks to Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. And Absa Bank Ghana Limited. Your story matters. The time for the Joy Business Report. And that's thanks to Omni Basic Bank at your service.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, former Finance Minister said Tekwe warns Ghana's economy is still facing deep structural challenges despite the growth of 4.7% recorded in the first quarter of this year. Also coming up, 77% of Ghanaians are reporting significant stress on their livelihoods. We hear a report. And also, government told to properly digitize tax system to improve revenue and reduce dependency on aid. We hear from economist Professor Peter Korte. Don't go anywhere. good to be with you this morning. Hello to our friends listening from Koforidon on KT Radio. My name is Darryl Kwao. First up, former Finance Minister Seth Terkper has warned Ghana's economy is still facing deep structural challenges despite the growth recorded in the first quarter of this year of 4.7%. According to him, although the growth is laudable, government must not be complacent because the country is not out of the woods yet. Speaking on Upfront on the Joy News channel, Mr. Terkper urged government to ensure it sustains the current economic momentum.
In essence, what I'm saying is that the economy is in deep structural challenges, and therefore we should be cautious in not being complacent with the developments that are happening now. We may be misreading, of course now there's better surveillance. What is going on as in 2017, 2018, bailout and other conditions. This time it's reliefs that are bringing in these results, only to wake up or to have woken up back then in 2019 for all the figures, to be revised. So I would say that these are good numbers for the sake of the economy because things are really tough, for Ghanaians, and I would hope that we will sustain, the momentum to get better use of fund and World Bank and other resources than we have done, in the past.
You had former Finance Minister Seth Terkper. Now, 77% of Ghanaians are reporting significant stress on their livelihoods due to the rising cost of living, the impact on their daily life and consumer behavior. This is according to recent data from Maverick Research and Cassie Insights, which revealed a troubling picture for consumers and the fast-moving consumer goods industry. Here's more in this report.
The statistic underscores the severe strain that inflation is placing on households, eroding purchasing power and compelling difficult choices in spending. The new data indicates that Ghana and Nigeria are the forefront of this economic stress. The report revealed that the consumer feedback collected since the beginning of the year highlights a palpable anxiety among retail owners and clients. The financial squeeze is not merely subjective but a widespread reality affecting the vast majority of the population. The report added that in Ghana and Nigeria, where inflation rates are particularly high, the stress manifests in reduced disposable income and altered consumers' consumption patterns. Consumers are thus forced to prioritize essentials, often cutting back on non-essential goods and services.
Economic and fixed income analyst Kweku Akokum says the $360 million from the IMF will go a long way to improve liquidity on the market and help stabilize the weakening cedi in the near term. He believes although the forex buffers will be strengthened, the Bank of Ghana has a greater role to play in complementing the expected gains. Mr. Akokum was reacting to the cedi's loss in value of 3.88% to the US dollar last week on the spot market.
On the disbursements, what happens is that it will be FX supportive, true, and additionally, it could also catalyze other financing sources or funded from multilateral partners, right, such as the World Bank or the African Development Bank. I think we saw around 250 million from the World Bank and also about 103 million from the African Development Bank. Possibly the 360 million from the IMF would also improve liquidity on the market and also bolster the FX buffers. However, I mean, bolstering the buffers is one side of the story, but then it actually translating more into, say, liquidity being that much ample on the market is also another side of the story. That would have to play out mainly from the central bank side.
Economic analyst Kweku Akokum there speaking with Joy Business. Well, let's turn to the currency market this morning. The dollar going for 15 cedis 50 pesos, the pound 19 cedis 50 pesos, and the euro going for 16 cedis 50 pesos. The director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, Professor Peter Korte, has advised government to find an innovative method of generating more domestic revenue without imposing higher taxes on Ghanaians. Professor Korte noted that digitizing the tax system will reduce Ghana's dependency on aid.
But if you look at our budget and our capital expenditure items, oftentimes they are financed by external borrowing, where we have had counterpart funding. Government and most of the projects that do not succeed is because we are not receiving GOG component of the fund. So trying to reduce our dependence on aid in terms of financing infrastructure, in terms of financing most of the things we do, is a sure way to go. But fortunately, we've not been able to do that. We still continue to depend on aid. Now, if we don't get inflows, you see what happens to our exchange rate. If inflows don't come in, you see what happens to inflation. So it's a real problem, a real challenge that we ought to deal with.
Professor Peter Korte is director of ISA. The Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors Ghana says it is on course to continue with the agenda of promoting the importation of cleaner fuels. According to its chief executive, Dr. Patrick Ofori, all efforts are being made to get government to reduce taxes on imported cleaner fuels. He has been speaking with Joy Business.
We've been successful with government for government to take the subsidy on RFO, which to us is a good success for us. We're currently also in discussions with Labra University on their initiative of promoting and advocating for cleaner energy initiative that they are doing in sub-Saharan African and a couple of other African countries that recently when they were in country, we've had the initial discussions to ensure that we can partner them to push that agenda forward.
Dr. Patrick Ofori is Chief Executive of the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors Ghana. Now, Associate Director at Deloitte Ghana, Eunice Brichum, is urging businesses to adopt environmental, social and governance principles in the operations to merit funding from donor partners and financiers. According to her, impact investing has become the main criteria for many financiers and provides businesses that adopt these principles with the opportunity to attract funding to help the operations. She spoke on the masterclass on Joy FM.
This starts all the way back since the 1960s. Impact investing became more important to financiers, to the World Bank and the development partners because we realized that if we do not take steps to protect our environment, to protect the future, and obviously that led to the SDGs, we're not going to be leaving a livable climate for the generations that are coming after us. People who will buy a certain product because they know that this company is committed to sustainability. And personally, they believe in that as well. And more, I think people are really signing up to the fact that we all need to do our bits in our corners, in our homes, in our workplaces, in our community to ensure that we can have a sustainable future for our planet.
Eunice Brichum, Associate Director, Deloitte Ghana Energy Consultant. On Investor Eye today, make it a point to always seek financial education. You can get a lot of information from the Bank of Ghana or a licensed financial institution to make the best decision when investing. Listen to Augustine Amakodonko, Chief Manager of the Financial Stability Department of the Bank of Ghana.
When the customers of these institutions or the consumers become more knowledgeable financially, they are able to participate more confidently on the market. There is a deepening of financial inclusion, which is an objective of the central bank and then the government. They are able to patronize the products, the services produced by the service providers. And then currently, one area which is of key interest to us, they are able to better protect themselves against fraud in the financial system. The increased use and reliance on technology has unfortunately exposed a lot of customers, consumers to financial fraud. And so for us at Bank of Ghana, that is one of our key objectives, to help ensure that the consumers, the customers will be able to protect themselves against some of these fraudulent.
Augustine Amakodonko, Chief Manager of the Financial Stability Department of the Bank of Ghana, with our Investor Eye episode for today. That's all for the Joy Business Report. Before we go a look at the commodity market, crude oil going for $85 a barrel this morning. Gold went up by more than $12, open trading at $2,340 an ounce. Cocoa trading at $9,390 a ton after adding more than $200. There is more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Daryl Carr. Thanks for doing the listening. The Super Morning Show continues with Kojo Yankson and the team. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
Thank you very much, Daryl Kwa and the team, for joining us with the latest in the world of business. It's still live right here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Let's get interactive this morning here on the Super Morning Show. Join us with your thoughts. Join us on X. Use the hashtag JoySMS. And then on WhatsApp, 055111199. Time now for our inspirational song for today. And it's Berima Yesu. That's our inspirational song.
Joyful Way Incorporated with Berima Yesu. That's our inspirational song for today. Here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Raymond Aqua, good morning.
Good morning. I hope you are doing well this morning.
Oh, God is taking care of us. I don't know whether you are a well-known person. Well, you are a professional too. You are a journalist.
Yeah, do you know that time I was I was referencing there's a very old document. There's an old ruling of a court in the UK that defined who the professional was and excluded filmmakers. So I'm not sure if, but it actually said actors were professionals, filmmakers were not professionals. In fact, it said there was a requirement of a certain intellectual contribution before one was qualified to be a professional. But the matter before the court in this matter was not whether or not the people were professionals or not professionals. So
well-known persons.
It said no, it said well-known persons too. And in fact, at the core of it, I agree with the principle. I mean,
you hold your fire.
Yeah.
We'll get to everything. Don't worry.
Yes.
Now that you admit that you are a professional and a well-known person.
As in, there is a ruling, an old ruling that backs journalists as professionals.
Exactly. You know,
but does not support filmmakers as professionals.
Yes, so it means
really?
they can, but,
yes.
But the well-known person would affect them.
Yes, that's why they made it. One of the interesting guidelines of the FDA. Yeah, which I was expecting them to enforce a very long time ago. Yes, but anyway.
Let's get into our Drive Safe campaign.
Yes, the Drive Safe campaign is brought to you by Joy News and the Multimedia Group. And this is supported not only by the Supreme Court, but by Toyota Superior Quality. Now, today, there's an important advice that many people ought to take note of. It is how to deal with when a car is broken down by the roadside. You can also report a broken down vehicle, because if you don't take care and it's not broken down at the right place with all the triangles and other things, there will be an accident following that, and that's happened on so many different locations. So if you see a vehicle which is broken down, please take it upon yourself to also report it. Even though we have 10,000 cameras dotted across the country, sometimes what the camera sees might not necessarily be the broken down vehicle, or may not concentrate on that. So you, as a driver who's on your own lane, when you see, please find time, park, okay, and make a call. Make the call to the relevant authority, including the police, that a vehicle is broken down here and that it should be towed away or something should be done about it, so that it doesn't create traffic on one hand and accidents on the other hand.
Very often they call their local radio station. Instead of calling the police.
Yes.
So that's why this tip is very, very important.
Yes, it is.
Let's learn how to say it right. Brought to us by Kingdom Books. That Kingdom quality and affordability are their hallmarks, and Societe or Bank Ghana. The future is you.
Something must be done.
You say either, I say either.
Yesterday, I pointed out that it was not right to say your number one-stop shop. And you sent me a lot of questions about that. Or, if I'm to be more precise, a lot of you sent me the same question. Why? Why is it wrong to say your number one-stop shop? Well, let's think about it for a moment. What do you mean when you say number one-stop shop? Do you mean there are a lot of stop shops and this particular one is the best of them all, the number one? Or do you mean it is a shop that sells number one stops? Either way, it's confusing. Better to either say that it's your number one stop, which means it is the first place you should go for whatever it is you need. Or you can say it is your one-stop shop, which means it is a shop where you can get everything you need at one stop. Decide which of these you want to say and stick to it. Number one stop shop just doesn't make any sense. Not if you want to say it right. All right.
Well, let's get into the news review.
Raymond is expecting me to say something.
Because you are the consistent lawyer for the people who say it wrong.
Say anything. Let me say good morning to my uncle Kofi Compson.
You can't say you disagree.
I haven't said anything. No comment. I am saying good morning to my uncle Kofi Compson.
You are saying that you are waiting for him to send you a message that he disagrees. Then you now come and say,
no, I haven't said that. Okay. Uncle understands why I'm saying good morning to you.
Okay.
You and your uncle, we greet you.
He knows that advice well taken.
Yes.
You and your uncle, we greet you both.
Yes. Advice well taken.
Anyway.
The news review now brought to you by Syntex Tanker, you're stronger, you're tough, and Access Bank, more than banking.
Now, the Daily Graphic's biggest story is BC in limbo. WAEC awaits 48 million Ghana cedis to begin examination. And they say uncertainty is hanging over the 2024 basic education certificate examination as the examining body waits to recoup almost 98% of the 95.83 million it needs to organize the examination. We understand WAEC has so far received 2.3 million out of this 95.83 million required to successfully facilitate the exams. But the council is insisting that it will require not less than 50% of the total amount to be able to conduct the examination, and a further release of more funds to enable it to process and release their results. The examination is scheduled for July 8th, which is Monday, July 8th, next month. It's like 3 weeks from now. If you do, 2-3 weeks, 2 weeks and a couple of days. And yet, and it's supposed to end on July 5th. So that week of July 8th and the other Monday, July 15th, is where the examination is supposed to take place across all the centers across the country. But now, a lot of preparation should have taken place. So it's a bit strange and, if you like, quite worrisome to have money still, only 2 million out of what? Then they say they want 50%. Well, if it's the finance ministry as the controller, the expectation is that you release the money for this all important activity. Okay, so that we don't have any difficulties in the examinations that we are supposed to have. Because you blame WAEC if the materials do not reach the center at the right time. You blame them if they make mistakes or do not do the right thing. But with barely 2 weeks to the exam and they don't have much or even 50% of the money there, it is not appropriate. So be it the education ministry or the Ministry of Finance, somebody ought to give WAEC their money. And WAEC mostly does diplomatic engagements. For them to be out there making an open demand of this sort means that it's a very dire situation, which requires intervention.
We have decided to absorb the payment of these fees.
Yes.
And once you absorb, it means you have the money.
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't have the money, you don't say, I'm going to pay. So once you have the money, and you would have made provision for it, education is a priority, and is the reason this government is consistently trumpeted its free SHS policy. So this should not be an issue at all. There should be the release of funds to them immediately, and then we move on.
They say some 6 million was supposed to have been put into gift mess. Yes, but it has not translated into real cash. So, I mean, even the 6 million, if you add it to already giving 2 million or 2.3 million, it's still less than 10 million. Yes. They say they want half of the 90 million. Yes. So give them something substantial.
Give them about 46 million.
So we don't enter July, then we are now pretending that, there is a national crisis on our hands. Please, we should be able to do this quickly anyway. So that's one of the biggest stories on the front page of the Daily Graphic. The other one says NDC names campaign team, and usual faces, the likes of Professor Joshua Alabi still leading, John Mahama's campaign and all of that. Now, advertising of alcoholic beverage. Supreme Court endorses FDA ban on celebrities. Maybe, Winston, can we now look at this story? Wait. I need to say that, yes, I'm sure many might have been in the court or heard the judgment themselves, but I have not seen the judgment itself.
Yes,
so this is what Justice Agbenossi of Daily Graphics reported. Say the FDA guideline, which prohibits well-known personalities like Winston from being used in alcoholic beverage advertising, does not contradict the 1992 Constitution. The Supreme Court has ruled in a 5-2 majority decision, dismissing the case filed by an artist manager named Mark Darlington Osai. Yesterday, the court, which had the Chief Justice as the president of the panel, said the guideline was not unreasonable, as argued by the plaintiff. This is what it says. This suit fails in its entirety and is hereby dismissed. Now, the final conclusion. Justice Tokonu said, adding that the reasoned decision of the court will be ready by Friday. Published guideline 3.2.10 of guidelines for the advertisement of foods. The guideline states that no well-known personality or professional shall be used in alcoholic beverage advertising. So, non-professionals like...
do they mean no well-known personality or well-known professional? Or do they simply mean professional?
So professional.
Then what about advertising executives?
Like what?
They are professionals, are they not?
Yes.
So is it now illegal for an advertising executive to, advertise?
There is a general presumption that everybody is a professional until the determination of whether or not you are professional.
You can go and be trained as an advertising executive. So if you are a professional advertising executive working for an alcohol company, must you be fired now because you can no longer advertise alcoholic beverages?
Mostly, what happens in a case like this is a court would now take the key words in contention. What the people were saying was that this was discriminatory, according to Article 71 and 2. And that to them, they were not even saying whether or not advertising it should be done or not. The argument primarily is that it should not be selecting so-called well-known personalities or professionals. And that, I don't know whether everybody else will be qualified under the various claims. So that is why they took to court. And court will now restrict itself to dealing with, first and foremost, is the directive given by the legitimate state authority unreasonable? Does it have the excessive elements of restricting your rights in ways? But what are the allowed procedures or systems that can be used to restrict your rights for the collective good? Right. So all of those elements would have been considered and a decision made.
I need some education. So will the Supreme Court rule strictly on the reliefs that the plaintiffs sought, or will they go further to give a general interpretation of the law itself?
What they did here is that the argument here was that the FDA directive was unconstitutional, as it violated the right against discrimination guaranteed by Article 17. This right against discrimination will be discrimination against professionals, in this case as named. Yes. So that is what they actually asked for. In fact, they say on a true and proper interpretation of Article 17 and 1, which guarantees equality before the law and prohibits discrimination against persons on grounds of socio-economic status, occupation, among others. Guidelines for the advertisement published by no well-known personality should be used. Is discriminatory, inconsistent, and is in contravention of 71 and 2 and that was unconstitutional. That's the argument they made anyway.
Okay, yes. Which means that they've made the court will make an interpretation of the law on discrimination, not the law that bans.
No, it will also determine whether this law actually acts or discriminates against you or any other person that's supposed to be coming before it anyway.
All right, let's get to the daily guide. Ghana needs visionary leader. That's according to Dr. Bawumia. We're told 10 entities express interest in Saglemi housing project. Supreme Court upholds FDA's ban on celebrity alcohol ads. Don't restart Opuni trial. That's another case that was settled in the court yesterday. There's one here that says election 2024. Haruna Muntaka missing in NDC campaign team.
That's the daily guide.
Yeah, that's the daily guide. I only saw one MP in there, and that's the minority leader. Atoforsen.
Campaign team.
Yes, I only saw one member of parliament. So, but that's how the daily guide, captures it. We're told that Al Ittihad are in Kudus, Saudi Arabia. They want
the
to
rich
take,
people. For,
yes. The Saudi Pro League. They want to take Kudus to Saudi Arabia.
Yes, I support it fully.
You know, they are drawing people there with money, but they are not yet drawing eyeballs.
Really?
Well, I mean, do
Is there
people
evidence
watch?
to back that?
Do people watch?
They do. People actually
Yes,
watch.
yes.
The Saudi league as much as they watch the Premiership or any of the European leagues.
Oh, no,
So that's what I
okay.
mean. I'm saying that they are spending as much, if not more, than some of those leagues spend on players. But the eyeballs are not matching. The numbers are not matching yet.
Wait time it will be.
It's actually
when England used to play the football like the OBF feature football, the one they used to do so, they had to go take it through a route for a very long time to make it a professional league of a sort. They had to now be buying players. Remember those days there was a huge contention. The Irish were worried about their players being bought into bigger teams in London and all of the other things that happened.
Well,
so
it took them time to
it
took them time to do that in the absence of competition. There wasn't any other league doing better than them at the time. That situation is different for
now they'll buy all the European players, proper ones, and take them to Saudi Arabia.
No,
they are already doing that.
You see, unlike us, Ghana, where I want to make a point where we don't plan so well. Saudi Arabia has a plan.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They're going to be hosting the World Cup in 2034. And if you want to host the World Cup in 2034, you must direct football to your country. You must get people interested in your football. And the best way to get people interested in your football, that's how come in Saudi Arabia, for instance, today they are lifting the ban on the drinking of alcohol. Okay, because small, because you know that
for
you're
diplomats
going to get,
first.
Yes, because you're not going to get people into your country. So they've not gone to sleep, and there's a long-term plan. They're working on it. Qatar did it. They brought the Aspire Football Academy. We had our own Ghanaian boy, representing Qatar in the World Cup. They plan. They do a lot of things differently.
I like the fact that you say they plan.
Yeah,
because there's a vision. Which is driven by action.
Which is the real point Winston wants to make. Unlike Ghana, some people are planning.
You are emphasizing that. Well, let me get to the Times. Remember, there's this story in the Times that I know you'll be interested in. 7.3 million Ghanaians are poor. That's according to the Ghana Statistical Service. Yes, at the program moderated by our very own Benjamin Akakbo. They revealed that 7.3 million Ghanaians, representing 24.3% of the 30.1 million household population in the country, are multidimensional poor. And of the 7.3 million multidimensional poor, that's the incidence of poverty persons, 3.2 million, representing 48.3%, experience severe poverty. So they define multidimensional poor as a non-monetary measure of poverty that reflects the various areas in which the population may be deprived of their needs, such as in the areas of education, health, and employment and living conditions. So that's the report by the Ghana Statistical Service.
Essentially, a prudent, proper state will now take this report, disaggregate it nicely, and know who to give which intervention at what point in time. An improper state will have a conversation whether or not it's still 7.3 million, or we should still be discussing whether $1 or $2 should be the criteria. But I want to believe going forward will be a proper state, and that will direct intervention in the right way. The way we start and pretend we don't know who to give specific interventions in this country, be it in education, be it in health, or whichever area, there is enough evidence to know who deserves it and who should be given.
Let's do the online review. Is brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest. Goyle Good Energy, Goyle in India, and G&J Technical Services, celebrating 30 years of providing backup power in Ghana.
Right, so myjoyonline.com this morning says Akufo-Addo extends Auditor General Johnson Ekwamwe's appointment. Okay. 2021 Doma level had reached age 60.
In fact, we had to even say he's not Ghanaian first before we just because we wanted to put him out.
You know what? Anyway. We'll talk about this. Let's go for the BBC News.
It's brought to you by Fidelity Bank. Believe with us, and Old Mutual. 10 years of greatness in Ghana, here for a lifetime.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
Good energy hits the road with exciting choices to energize your ride, giving you more options to take you further. Watch this space for your choice.
Goil, yeah.
Say donut, 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 donut. Hey, donut, 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 donut. Donut, donut. Yanko cotton, donut, donut, donut. Malaria super donut.
Everybody follow not sa malaria. A 3D no not now. Wonto malaria chill. Popo. What win the day? I want the num donut. A dabako. Num donut. A damienu. Num donut. A damiensa. Num donut. Malaria super donut. No. Lonat scatter malaria. Lonat ide scatter malaria.
A quality product from Blaze GVS Pharma. Yenshishemu hu se malaria wa wumujam ansana wanum Lonat. Na nam yensearch na malaria no daso wo hwa ko hu dokota.
This advert is FDA approved.
Join us this summer for the prestigious International Conference on Property Investment and Profit Making, the ultimate guide to financial freedom. Delve into the theme, how to earn and maximize passive income through commercial property investment in the United States. Mark your calendar for 29th and 30th October 2024 at Trump Towers International Hotels, Chicago, USA. Register now to secure your spot. Early bird registration ends 15 July and standard registration closes on July 30th, 2024. Registration starts from $500 to $1,550, which allows you 2 nights stay at Trump Towers Hotel, Chicago, lunch buffet, welcome cocktail, conference ticket, and many more. For those in need of visa support to attend, visit our conference website on conference.chicagowestluxuryhomes.com and register to get an invitation, or call us on 0536 502295 for further information.
They say a butterfly flapping its wings in Accra can cause a tsunami in Bangkok. So what if your factory in Nsawam could shake up the stock market in Hong Kong? What if your business in Elmina could affect fish production in Norway? What if your refinery in Tema could affect the price of petrol in Moscow? Well, now it can, because you have access to the bank with the largest number of customers in Africa. Access to our global branch network.
Bonjour. Good morning.
Our robust asset base and an unparalleled digital infrastructure. So go ahead and flap your wings wherever you are, because with us you have access to an entire world of possibilities. Access more than banking.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
It destroys the leaves of plants and ruins everything.
Losing Attar. Today at 8:30 GMT. Business Daily is in 30 minutes.
How often do you shop on social media? Today, we're asking what big tech firms are doing to win over a generation of young people in an industry worth trillions of dollars. And what happens when a government tries to ban one of the biggest players?
This is the BBC World Service, the world's radio station.
Welcome to the inquiry on the BBC World Service. Haiti's call for international help to rein in gang violence has been answered.
If there's a challenge anywhere in the world, they'll go and sort out that issue. Because Kenya is saying that those are our brothers and sisters.
It's offered to lead a multinational force of specialist armed police.
Some argue that Kenya should not deploy police to Haiti when we already have our own internal challenges.
Others suspect it's acting to please allies in America, but
in the US-Kenyan partnership, there is no clear upper hand. There is no dominant party.
This week we're asking, why is Kenya getting involved in Haiti?
There is a severe degree of skepticism among many Haitians about whether it can in fact become successful.
I'm Charmaine Cozier. Join me on the inquiry after the news.
Hello, I'm Moira Alderson with the BBC News. Communist Party leaders in Vietnam have given a red carpet welcome to the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Military bands played as he shook hands with dignitaries at a ceremony in Hanoi. Mr. Putin will use the trip to discuss cooperation on trade, energy and military equipment. Despite recently boosting relations with the United States, Vietnam has long maintained close ties with Russia, as our Southeast Asia correspondent Jonathan Head explains.
Vietnam sees its ties with Russia as part of a multipolar foreign policy that seeks to balance relations with all powerful countries. Mr. Putin wants to lift trade with Vietnam at a time when he's facing economic pressure over his invasion of Ukraine. However, in keeping with its position of strict neutrality, Vietnam will be wary of agreeing to anything that appears to break the Western sanctions on Russia.
Intense heat in Saudi Arabia has reportedly led to the deaths of hundreds of Muslim pilgrims, leaving relatives desperately searching for news of their loved ones. Temperatures in Mecca, the site of the annual Hajj pilgrimage, went past 51 Celsius this week. Most of those who've died are said to be from Egypt. A new industry report has found global fossil fuel consumption and carbon emissions reached record highs last year. The Energy Institute says that despite growth in wind and solar power, rising overall demand meant the use of fossil fuels in 2023 was still 1.5% higher than the year before. Nick Waith is one of the report's authors.
We are seeing fossil falling in Europe and the US. Europe fell below 70% for the first time. So the growth we've seen last year has been driven by China. And that growth is predominantly by the bounce back from COVID. We also saw a massive increase in renewables. I mean, of that global 13% increase, China was responsible for over half of the increase in renewables.
Canada has become the latest Western country to list the Iranian Revolutionary Guards as a terrorist organisation. Opposition politicians and members of the Iranian diaspora have spent years calling for the change. It means thousands of senior government officials in Iran will be barred from entering Canada. Speaking at a news conference, Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister Mélanie Joly said the move came with risks.
With this decision today, there is a heightened risk of arbitrary detention in Iran. So my message is clear. For those who are in Iran right now, it's time to come back home. And for those who are planning to go to Iran, don't go.
The Revolutionary Guard Corps is a powerful military and political force in Iran. It has nearly 200,000 personnel. This is World News from the BBC. There are growing fears of the war in Gaza spreading after a televised address by the head of the powerful Lebanese armed group Hezbollah. Hassan Nasrallah said no place in Israel would be spared Hezbollah's rockets in a full-scale conflict. Yolande Nell is in Jerusalem.
Fears that Israel might start a full-blown war in Lebanon have risen sharply. This week, Israel's military said operational plans for an offensive were approved and validated. For more than 8 months, Hezbollah, which is backed by Iran, has been exchanging fire with Israeli forces in a show of support for Hamas in Gaza. Hassan Nasrallah said his group didn't seek a wider war with Israel, but that it was ready for one, adding that Hezbollah had new weapons and a bank of targets ready. For the first time, he also threatened Cyprus, accusing it of allowing Israel to use its airports and bases for military exercises.
Wildfires in the US state of New Mexico, which have killed at least 2 people, are continuing to burn out of control. 2 major fires in the southern part of the state have damaged or destroyed about 1,400 homes, while earlier this week the entire population of Ruidoso was ordered to evacuate. Ecuador's government says almost all power has been restored after a nationwide blackout. Traffic lights went out across the country on Wednesday afternoon and the subway system in the capital, Quito, ground to a halt. The acting energy minister, Roberto Luque, blamed a transmission line failure. At least 30 people have died and dozens have been hospitalised after drinking illegally brewed liquor in the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu. The authorities say most of those admitted are suffering from vomiting, stomachache and diarrhoea. 10 officials, including a senior revenue manager and a police chief, have been arrested over the incident. Writing on social media, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu said he was shocked and saddened by the news. That's the latest. BBC News.
This election, ask your favorite politicians about their plans for tackling climate change and improving access to water, sanitation and hygiene. Let this define who you vote for. At WaterAid, we believe in a future where our leaders prioritize climate change, water, sanitation and hygiene. Your vote can make this possible.
Do you need a car for a day, a week, or longer? Look no further. Avis Rent-A-Car Ghana has got you covered, catering to your every need. Whether it's self-drive or chauffeur-driven, we ensure your journey is filled with comfort and style. Choose from our range of sedans, SUVs, mini SUVs, vans, and buses available to suit your business or planning need. With Avis, your journey knows no bounds. We travel anywhere in Ghana, Benin, Togo, and Cote d'Ivoire. Our prices start from as low as 600 Ghana cedis a day. T&Cs apply. Call us now on 0302 761 751 or email rentacar@avisghana.com. Visit our website avisghana.com. Avis Rent-A-Car. Plan on us.
Wake up. Good morning. Good morning.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
Wicked, jungle is massive. Wicked, jungle is massive. Wicked, jungle is massive. Wicked, incredible. But big up, all the original jungle is massive. The original dancehall jungle is there. General Lee
Coffee in your cup. Enjoy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Yo!
Levy featuring M Beat.
Yeah. Kojo, this was song number what?
I knew it. I knew this was coming.
Barracuda. This was song number what?
Okay, if you don't like Barracuda, Kewados.
Chris Kewados. Chris Wado or Kewado. No, let's add S to it. Kewados. This was song number what?
My brother Wados.
No, because Emmanuel Ode, your mate from Ogasco, has actually confirmed to the whole world.
Or they're your face, okay?
Please, let me make my point. Has confirmed to the whole world that you used to represent St. Augustine's College.
So the onus is now on you to show proof contrary to what has been presented. Okay. So why are we having this conversation? You just tell us in a number which you...
Did you ever use this song to perform at St. Augustine's College?
Me. I have no onus.
Kojo Hansen, did you ever use this song to perform at St. Augustine's College?
Never. I never.
Which song did you use to perform?
I never did.
If you say you didn't use this one, which ones did you use?
Please, I said I never did.
You did what? Perform?
Or use Smooth Criminal?
No.
Or On a Ragga Tip?
Hey! Let's move on.
So, you was using matching this song.
He responded to Barracuda, you see?
Yes.
He has responded.
Yes. I said let's move on.
No, you said yes.
I said let's move on.
Contestant number 15.
No, you see, Kojo, I mean, if you are asking somebody else these questions and you are giving the kind of answers you are giving,
like let's move on.
No, I can't believe that. Let's move on. Say.
Yes.
No. Hold on.
We have other business to take care of.
There are serious matters of state we ought to deal with right now.
No, so this one break dancing.
Yeah.
Jungle is massive.
Yeah, asking you a question, you don't want to answer the question. Then say, let's move on.
Let's bring in Emmanuel Ode into the conversation.
I see. That's the problem. Yes.
So he will confirm whether you ever use this song to perform.
That's true.
No, please don't say anything. Don't say anything. We are inviting Emmanuel Ode into this conversation.
You are gagging the press.
We are inviting Emmanuel Ode into the conversation. Whether or not you performed with Incredible when you are at St. Augustine's College, he will respond very soon. Emmanuel Ode, the number is 055 1111
Today is
Incredible.
And the likes of lawyer Steve Bacha and co, who saw you dancing at St. Augustine's College. I am also reminding them the number is 055 1111
this is a clarion call.
997. Yes.
A clarion call to help set the facts straight.
Jojo, just notify me once they respond. Yes.
Hey, where did I go and sleep last night?
Let's move on. Let's talk about the well-known persons.
Yes. So right now, the National Intelligence Bureau, that's how they've been renamed, isn't it? The National Intelligence Bureau has done this survey. And I was interested in whether or not this is something they tend to do normally. And as it has been made quite clear, they do such surveys. This is my first time hearing of them doing one specifically about the choice of running mate for the party in government. I don't know whether there is some sort of intelligence value that they were seeking to achieve from that information. Normally, they do surveys on economic situation and even on the election. Which party is likely to come out on top and all of that. They do those things, certainly. But which running mate to choose? Isn't that quite novel?
No, I don't think so. I think if the only intent here is to be interested in what's happening in the main political parties so that it will not take anybody by surprise, as in planning state security and all of the things related to that. Yeah. I hope you get the point. Because eventually somebody will emerge. And you have to make all the arrangements to make sure that certain people in certain positions are given the kind of protection and all the other things required. So if it's part of the ordinary way, we are not spending so much money on it, and it's not a frivolous quest just to present somebody as the chosen and blessed of the group, and it's based on proper, prudent research, I mean, I will not have any difficulties with that at all. I remember was reported that another security institution had done a survey that said Bawumia was going to win the MPP primaries by 80%. Remember, it kept being parroted by so many serious members of
75%.
Yes. Oh, yes. Some even dictated. In fact,
which organization did that?
Oh, some mentioned national security. Others were also throwing about some of the other things. But essentially, the numbers did not coincide with what was purported. In fact, if this was our dear friend ever distinguished Ben Epstein, they would have been attacking left, right, center. But nobody mentioned that national security or purported national security survey was wrong. But then, of course, we didn't even hear from national security itself saying that this was our survey anyway. So sometimes, and you ought to be a bit more careful in evaluating this, so that nobody does the usual monkey business, throwing something and people are chasing after it, or seek to influence public policy or public direction or public views by purporting to have done a survey of such a sort. I hope you get my point.
But is that not going to be the effect anyway? I mean, when you read the introduction to this report, this leaked report from the national... Leaked indeed. Yeah, it says, and I quote, in anticipation of the selection of a running mate by Dr. Bawumia, the NPP presidential candidate for the 2024 general election, the National Intelligence Bureau conducted a comprehensive nationwide survey from June 12 to June 14, 2024. So this is quite clear, that they did this in anticipation of the vice president's choice. So so is it fair to say they did this in order to inform the vice president's choice?
It looks like that. It looks like this was done to inform the vice president's choice, because what I am learning is that, even before the June 12 to June 14, Dr. Bawumia, there had been lots of calls on him to select either this person or that person. There's some who wanted Osechi and Sabonsu, then Joe Osei, who said he was not interested. He wanted to go home and take care of himself, post-politics. And others also talked about the Food and Agric Minister, Brian Echampong. And, in the midst of all the conversations about choosing a running mate from the Ashanti region, one of the things you probably would hear was that, I said, Ashanti. So throughout that period, there were some key members of the party who suggested to the vice president that, why don't you go to the people and ask them whom they believe would be a suitable choice of a running mate. So they said, go and present 3 names. And I learned some months ago that when they went around first with 3 names, it was obvious that Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh stood tall. And then I was also told, I learned not long ago, that the National Investigations Bureau then decided to conduct this poll or survey. And so on Monday, which happens to be the 17th of June, the results were actually given to the those whose name you find in there, as in those who wanted. I didn't know that running mates were actually people could lobby that much. But people were lobbying.
People lobby for everything.
They wanted to be running mates. So for all those whose name had come up, wanted to be running mates, they were actually informed that there was going to be this survey within the party's electoral college to indicate who was the most.
Was that a good move? Did that not? Would that not end up?
I would address that later. Now, because if you selected a candidate based on the party's, delegates, you might as well go back to them. You could open it up. But this is it. I mean, we'll look at who. What running mates bring onto a campaign ticket later on.
Later on.
Yes. But that's so. When this happened, what I have learned is that when they went round and they got 76.27 of them saying that they supported the candidacy of Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh, they then presented this to all the persons whose names had been mentioned and then reported to the party. I'm actually told that maybe next week, the vice president, before the end of the month, may actually, meet the National Executive Council of the party and then, present the name of his running mate to the party. And once you've heard Miracles Abuaji saying that the vice president always knew, his choice of a running mate, I'm sure it's a done deal now.
Okay, so these are the things I'm interested in. First of all, the National I'm always confused between Intelligence and Investigative. Intelligence Bureau did this survey amongst NPP party members and delegates.
Yes.
Does that in any way provide the vice president with information about who the voter would prefer to see on his ticket? Because as for the delegates, this is a captive audience. These are people who are going to vote for your party no matter who you choose as running mate. So is he not more interested in what the voter, the ultimate decider of who runs this country, would choose?
I just say one thing. It depends on the information available to the vice president. So the information available to the vice president could be whether he, as Dr. Bawumia, can actually get a lot of Ghanaians within and outside his party voting for him. If there is a possibility that there could be apathy within the party, then you would ask the question, who within the party can solve that? So it depends on the information available to the vice president. And we may not have that information, but later on, when we start the analysis, we'll break everything down. We'll look at, how running mates could support an election, and that'll give us a better way of appreciating everything.
All right. Well, we've got lots to get through. In addition to that, we'll also be talking about the Supreme Court judgment on that case brought by some representation of celebrities and professionals in Ghana who were fighting the law that bans their advertising of alcohol. We'll find out what you think about that as well. Use the hashtag JoySMS to tell us in the meantime. By the way, we do have a poll. We would like to know whether you think Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh would make a good running mate for Dr. Bawumia. It's a yes or no. Tell us what you think. Stay with us.
Wake up to joy, joy, joy. Sunshine and joy in the morning time. Yeah. Wake up to the super morning show. Yeah. Wake up to joy.
And you have a game-changing, innovative business idea or project that can impact society, then this is your moment. TotalEnergies presents the 4th edition of the Startup of the Year Challenge. This year we are looking for 3 winners: the best entrepreneur, also known as InnovUp winner, the best project or innovative business idea exemplifying recycling and minimizing waste, the Cycle Up winner, and the best project promoting or relating to sustainable and affordable energies, the Power Up winner. And that's not all. 4 additional projects in the Power Up category will be selected by an international jury. Don't wait any longer. Apply now at startupper.totalenergies.com for your chance to win financial support, professional mentorship, and a spotlight for your project. Terms and conditions apply.
Now, the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, PAPS, is now live at Fidelity Bank. Imagine sending money to your loved ones or business partners across Africa instantly and in Ghana cities. Don't wait for days for transaction to clear. No more expensive fees, just fast, secure, and affordable payment. PAPS is here, and Fidelity Bank makes sending money through PAPS very easy. Visit any Fidelity Bank branch and start sending money across Africa instantly, securely, and affordably to Nigeria, Gambia, Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. Fidelity Bank. Believe with us.
Now, every time we eat, food and sugars get trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases, foul breath. Brushing your teeth every morning and night with Pepsodent Cavity Fighter gives your teeth the protection they need, leaving you with 10 times stronger teeth. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter is fortified with profluoride and microcalcium ingredients, sealing tiny and invisible holes in your teeth, and this prevents cavities, keeps your teeth strong and your mouth healthy. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, maximum cavity protection, 10 times stronger teeth. After 25 years of educating us to brush day and night, Pepsodent is recommended by the Ghana Dental Association. You can get Pepsodent at any shop near you and call their customer care center toll-free on 0800 2030. Always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsodent. Every smile matters.
And for the first time, Dubai Property Expo is here in Ghana by HJ Real Estate, located at 28 Joseph Broz Tito Avenue, Cantonment, Accra, opposite the Diamond Inn City Apartments. So HJ Real Estate, your property advisor, presents exciting opportunities of investment in Dubai. Why you should invest in Dubai: a tax-free income, good rental income, guaranteed high return on investment, flexible payment plan for high capital appreciation, 0% property tax, tourist destination, safest country in the world till date. The expo date, 21st to 22nd of June 2024, time 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day. So book now and contact us for more information on 0537 586 262 or WhatsApp us on 0537 586 262. Visit our website, hjrealestates.com. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, HJ Real Estates. HJ Real Estate, your trusted partner.
Now, the 5th edition of the Omni Basic Bank Health Walk is happening live on Saturday, June 29, 2024. This is happening at the forecourt of the State House from 5:30 a.m. and Kojuansi will be there. The walk will start from the forecourt of the State House through some principal streets in Accra and back to the same venue for aerobics and fun-packed activities that Kojo consistently engages in. Participation is free. So come on Saturday, June 29, 2024 to the forecourt of the State House for the Omni Basic Health Walk. For more information, kindly call Kojo Jansen or this contact center on 0307 08 6000 or 0302 758 555, or you can call us toll free on 0800 100790. Always remember that better health starts here. Omni Basic Bank at your service.
I'll be there.
Oh, yeah. Kojo Jansen will be there.
All right, don't forget to go to kingdomstoreonline.com. Pick up all the very best quality office essentials, equipment, furniture, and stationery at great prices, which you can pay via Momo across all networks. They will deliver to your home or office in very good time, and it's free delivery if you're in Accra or Tema. Terms and conditions apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
And Toyota Ghana Company Limited Legon branch is hosting an exclusive service clinic on Saturday, June 29th. Drive to Toyota Ghana Legon branch and treat your car to a day of pampering. With professional care, we're offering an array of complimentary services, which will include free diagnosis, get a thorough checkup from expert technicians and engineers to ensure your vehicle's efficiency, headlamp cleaning, enhance your nighttime visibility, and give your headlights a sparkling new look, body waxing, protect your car's paint, and give it an irresistible showroom shine. I need to do that. And that's not all. There will be an exciting interaction with our insurance partners and a chance to learn some handy maintenance tips from our professionals. So whether you're a car enthusiast or just want to make sure your vehicle is in top shape, join us at the Toyota Ghana Legon branch on Saturday, 29th June from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's a day dedicated to you and your vehicle with absolutely free vehicle diagnosis, affordable oil change, spare part sales, and automotive paint finishes. For more details, visit our website toyotaghana.com or call or WhatsApp us on 0257 955 447.
Now to the businessman, trader, and parents sending money to loved ones and business partners. Thanks to the Access Bank and PAPS partnership, you can now send money across border hassle-free. Now you can send money to pay for goods and services, make business transactions, and cover school fees across Africa without worrying about foreign exchange losses or delays. It's straightforward, secure, and keeps your mind at ease. Benefit from instant payments from Nigeria, Liberia, Gambia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone with zero foreign exchange hassle. That ought to be stressed anyway. Zero, absolutely nothing, no dollar problem. When you send money in cedis, it will be received in any other currency by the recipient on the continent. For more information, visit our website ghana.accessbankplc.com or call our toll free 0800 004400. For all your cross-border payments, visit any of our branches and PAPS it with Access Bank. Access Bank, more than banking.
All right, well, it's time for us to rock and roll. We've got some birthdays and, of course, the sports headlines all coming up on the Super Morning Show. Stay tuned.
Hey, so as for you, every day you are just pressing your phone. Why? Are they paying you?
They are, Oma.
Eh?
The more I use my MTN, the more points I get. And I can use those points to get airtime, data, and even discounts at shops and restaurants.
Hey, so that is why all of you are always pressing your phones. And you won't tell us, so that we too we can enjoy some.
Oh, ma.
There's always more to enjoy with MTN Rewards. Just keep talking, testing, and browsing all day, every day to collect your points and use it to redeem amazing offers and discounted freebies right away. There's so much available for you. So dial *550# and get your reward today. Let's go. Everywhere you go.
Kweku, have you heard what they are doing on MTN?
Imagine a world where your home or business is powered by the sun's boundless energy. Picture your rooftop transformed into a solar sanctuary, radiating with eco-friendly vibes and city-saving brilliance. Well, dream no more. With Standard Chartered's renewable energy loans, you can turn this dream into a dazzling reality. And guess what? Our renewable energy loans come at very low rates. That's right, we are not just offering loans, we are offering the keys to your solar-powered kingdom. Say goodbye to high electricity bills and step into a new world where every watt generated is a step towards a brighter, more sustainable future. So if you're ready to take control of your energy destiny and switch to solar today, give us a shout on any of the following phone lines: 050-153-5789, 050-153-5790, 0244-674154. Let's chart a course for a brighter tomorrow and make your solar dreams shine brighter than ever before. Standard Chartered, here for good.
Join us this summer for the prestigious International Conference on Property Investment and Profit Making, the ultimate guide to financial freedom. Delve into the theme, how to earn and maximize passive income through commercial property investment in the United States. Mark your calendar for 29th and 30th October 2024 at Trump Towers International Hotels, Chicago, USA. Register now to secure your spot. Early bird registration ends 15 July and standard registration closes on July 30th, 2024. Registration starts from $500 to $1,550, which allows you 2-night stay at Trump Towers Hotel, Chicago, lunch buffet, welcome cocktail, conference ticket, and many more. For those in need of visa support to attend, visit our conference website on conference.chicagowestluxuryhomes.com and register to get an invitation, or call us on 0536-502295 for further information.
All right, birthday messages on the Super Morning Show are brought to you by
MTN. Everywhere you go.
And Bank of Africa, the African bank with global reach. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group,
as close as a partner.
We will bring you the birthday a bit later on the show.
Yes.
But right now, I think we need to switch straight through to the Joy Sports Center, which is brought to you by
MTN. Everywhere you go.
Standard Chartered Bank,
here for good.
And DSTV,
it's your moment.
Now, assessing super reliable healthcare should be the topmost priority for you and your family. That's why Multiplus, powered by MTN, is giving you just that today. For a subscription fee of just 25 Ghana cedis a month, paid on Momo, you can sign on to a health subscription plan that gets you access to unlimited in-store consultations with qualified healthcare professionals and over 160 covered medications and tests at participating pharmacies in the Ablekuma, Sakaman, Dansoman, Mamprobi, and Kaswa townships. And the favorite part is there's a dedicated nurse at the Multi Pharmacy who can teleconference a doctor when you need it, so you can access the best consultation services. And to get this product, all you have to do is download the Ayoba app and sign up today with your Momo account. Just download the Ayoba app and sign up today with your Momo account. Take charge of your health conveniently and affordably. Sign up for Multiplus, powered by MTN, today.
So, folks, imagine a world where your home or business is powered by the sun's boundless energy. I mean, picture your rooftop transforming into a solar sanctuary, radiating with eco-friendly vibes and city-saving brilliance. Well, dream no more with Standard Chartered's renewable energy loans. You can turn this dream into a dazzling reality. And guess what? Our renewable energy loans come at very low rates. That's right. We're not just offering loans, we are offering the keys to your solar-powered kingdom. say goodbye to high electricity bills and step into a new world where every watt generated is a step towards a brighter, more sustainable future. So if you are ready to take control of your energy destiny and switch to solar today, give us a shout on any of these numbers: 050-153-5789 or 050-153-5790 or 0244-674-154. Let's chart a course for a brighter tomorrow and make your solar dreams shine brighter than ever before. Standard Chartered, here for good.
Good morning, Raymond. Good morning to all of you, and welcome aboard to the Joy Sports Centre with me, Fentu, Tahiru Fentu. Coming up,
Musiala, Mittelstadt, Fulcrum to the back post. This is Gundogan! That's the goal Germany craved! The captain steps up to provide breathing space for the hosts in Stuttgart.
That's right, Germany dispatched Hungary to become the first team to qualify to the round of 16 at Euro 2024. In other matches, Xherdan Shaqiri scored a stunner to deny Scotland victory against Switzerland, who will look ahead to today's games as well and look back on yesterday's titanic clash. But first, the massive clear-out at Asante Kotoko is rolling on. Yesterday, the club announced they have released another set of 7 players, including Rocky Jamna and Shadrach Ado. Kotoko has now released in total 18 players within the last 2 days alone. That means they will have to sign new players ahead of the new season. Kotoko coach Prosper Ogum says the club will not sign unproven players this time.
We need to do a lot of structural changes in the playing body with respect to signing of some players to come to augment. This time, not players from lower divisions, but players who have seen it in the Premier League. So these are basically some of the things that we need to also do. We need to go out there as early as possible to make sure that the signings that we want or the players that we want, we are able to get them.
That's Prosper Nate Ogum. Still on the Ghana Premier League, Samatex fans are still buzzing after their club won the Ghana Premier League title just 2 seasons after gaining promotion to the top flight. Some fans from other clubs had previously mocked Samatex for being located in Samaraboy, which many described as a village. However, the club's impressive performance has silenced those critics.
They just came into the league just last year, so that this is their second year, and they are champions. That should tell you that they've done marvelously well. So we need to congratulate the team, the company itself, who has been their financial backbone, and the fans. You can see the amazing stadium.
The whole Ghana, almost 3 years you were grassing,
It is a beautiful thing for Samatex to come from the to the league. And they are winning the league. And I'm very happy for them. I come all the way from Tema to come and watch the match.
Some fans of Samatex there. Meanwhile, Ghanaian players in Europe are already making moves in this summer transfer window. We've put together a wrap for you for who has been released by which club and where are they heading next.
Abdul Aziz Yakubu left Rio Ave after his contract expired and is expected to sign for Japanese club Shimizu S-Pulse. Rio Ave have also released Emmanuel Boateng after 2 seasons, making him a free agent. Matthew Enim Kujo's 3-year stay at Dundee United came to an end due to his inability to agree on a contract renewal. Black Stars left back Ebenezer Annan has signed a 3-year deal with Serbian giants Red Star Belgrade from Bologna. This is a reward for his impressive loan spell at Novi Pazar last season. Despite his impressive output in the just concluded season, former Ghana midfielder Alfred Duncan will be released by Fiorentina when his contract expires this summer.
That's a Joy Sports Desk report. Elsewhere, the Ghana Football Association has secured an international friendly for the Black Queens against Japan. The game will be played at the Kanazawa Stadium on July 13. Elsewhere, the Paris 2024 Olympic Games are fast approaching, and Ghana is yet to lay out its roadmap to prepare the athletes for the competition in July. President of Ghana Athletics, Bawumia Husseini, is calling on the government to put the Ghana contingent in a camp as soon as possible ahead of the games in July and August.
the only way we can secure the Olympic final and possibly get to Olympic medal in Paris is for us to give the athletes more competition, to camp them, to support them financially, so that they don't have to work. Some of them work and they train. Even in US, some of them, when they are on vacation, getting a place to train is a difficulty because the school is closed. When the school closed, they close down every facility. To go and train, then you have to go and pay to go and train. And for us, if we are able to bridge that gap between second week or first week or last week in May to the time we go to the Olympics, we have to move them to Europe.
That's Bar Hussein, the president for Ghana Athletics. Now let's head to Germany now. That's where Jamal Musiala and Ilkay Gundogan scored the goals as host nation Germany beat Hungary 2-0 in Stuttgart to become the first team to book their spot in the Euros round of 16. Musiala is also the first player to score 2 goals in the tournament. Germany captain Gundogan believes the 20-year-old is the most important player in the German team.
For me, it's incredible. It's such a joy to play with him, because he's someone who can do the unexpected in every single situation, and such a difference maker for our team. Maybe, the most important one at the moment for us in such a young age as well, especially when it comes about creating, or getting the ball, take-ons, giving the final pass, scoring goals, which he added now to his game as well, which is very important for someone playing in such an offensive position.
Kind words from Gundogan to Musiala. Still in Group A, Xherdan Shaqiri, he scored a stunner to cancel out Scott McTominay's opener as Switzerland and Scotland settled for a 1-1 draw. Germany are top of Group A with 6 points, while Switzerland are second with 4. Earlier yesterday, Klaus Jasula scored in stoppage time to deny Croatia the 3 points in a 2-2 draw with Albania. Both Albania and Croatia have a point each after 2 games in Group B. In the same group, later today, Spain and Italy face off in the big one tonight at 7 p.m. A kind reminder that the Joy Sports crew will be live from Heritage Craft Brewery at East Legon for that Titanic clash. Kind get to see our Euros coverage sponsors, NASCO. So do join us tonight. And remember, NASCO will be giving away lots and lots of appliances and devices and television sets and refrigerators. So do come around at 7 p.m. and join us. If you live or work around that area, even better. Meanwhile, also today, England will be looking to seal their place in the last 16 with a win against Denmark. That match is at 4 p.m. The England manager, Gary Southgate, admits the team can play better than they did against Serbia.
Yeah, we know that we have good players. We know that we can play better than we did the other day. But I thought the players, in what is an incredibly pressurised moment, started the game exceptionally well and defended brilliantly throughout the whole game. And I think they'll be better for that game. I think they'll be better for having a game under their belt. Physically, we'll be better for having a lot of the players having had a game. And emotionally, there's so much tension.
That's Southgate there. And one player in contention to start tonight's game is Kobbie Mainoo. He came off the bench to make his Euros debut in Sunday's 1-0 win over Serbia. But earlier this year, he could have played at the AFCON representing Ghana, the country of his parents. But the 19-year-old says while there were conversations about playing for the Black Stars, his heart was always set on England.
Obviously proud of my Ghanaian heritage, and there was speculations and whatnot, but it's always been a dream to play for England, so I'm happy to be here.
So that was never sort of a serious option for you, I guess?
Considered, but I wanted to play for England.
That's Kobbie Mainoo there. Later tonight, though, another continental football tournament starts, the 2024 Copa America. But this year's competition is a little different. First off, it's not even being played in South America, and 6 of the teams are not from there either. The US, Mexico, Jamaica, Canada, Costa Rica, and Panama will be the 6 North and Central African countries, African American countries, joining all 10 South American nations to compete. Many of the host cities are in southern states such as California, Texas, and Florida, but there are stadia further north too, including games in New Jersey. Later tonight, defending champions Argentina take on Canada in the opening game at 12 a.m. and that match is being played in Atlanta. That's all the sports this morning on the Joy Sports Center. My name is Fentu Tahir Fentu. Back to you, Winston.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us with the latest in the world of sports this morning. But let's get interactive here on the Super Morning Show. Join us on X. Use the hashtag JoySMS and then join us on WhatsApp 055-1111-997. We're asking a very simple question. Do you think that a Member of Parliament for Benchia South, Matthew Poku Prempeh, will be a good vice presidential candidate? Do you support that he be nominated as Dr. Bawumia's running mate? Social media message on this morning show brought to us by Rapinol. When the pain is too much to bear, grab Rapinol from Danex Itin Starwin PLC. Rapinol, the rapid pain reliever, and EcoBank, a better way, a better Africa, as well as Malatu from Ernest Chemist. Malatu, power over malaria. This is the year to stop singing and talking about chopping and enjoying life and just do it. EcoBank has over 1 million Ghana cedis worth of cash and prizes in the EcoBank Million Gang promo for you and over 7,000 others across Ghana. Winners will be rewarded bi-weekly and you can be one of them, up to 10,000 Ghana cedis. There'll be 3 monthly draws, and all you have to do is deposit cash in multiples of 500 Ghana cedis into your EcoBank account at your nearest branch, EcoBank Express Point or EcoBank Mobile. To stand a chance of winning, other prizes include fuel vouchers, shopping vouchers, airtime, and many more. Promo runs from now to the 31st of July 2024. It's your time to chop life. Remember, every 500 Ghana cedis deposit earns you an entry into the EcoBank Million Gang draw. A better way to enjoy life, a better way, better Africa. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. Stay with us. When we return, we'll bring you food for thought brought to us by Roverman Productions. Be the difference.
We know say problem day, but you for chop life. Simply deposit cash in multiples of 500 Ghana cedis into your EcoBank account at your nearest branch, Express Point, or through EcoBank Mobile to win your share of over 1 million cedis in prizes in the EcoBank Million Gang promo, EMG. Be one of over 7,000 people to be rewarded. Hey, my God. Yes, so over 7,000 people go chop soft life from May to July 31, 2024. Be an EcoBank customer or be square. Remember, every 500 Ghana cedi deposit earns you a point for the EcoBank Million Gang today. EMG. Deposit today and win your share of 1.2 million in cash and prizes. A better way to enjoy life. A better way. A better Africa. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Join us this summer for the prestigious International Conference on Property Investment and Profit Making, the ultimate guide to financial freedom. Delve into the theme, how to earn and maximize passive income through commercial property investment in the United States. Mark your calendar for 29th and 30th October 2024 at Trump Towers International Hotels, Chicago, USA. Register now to secure your spot. Early bird registration ends 15 July and standard registration closes on July 30th, 2024. Registration starts from $500 to $1,550, which allows you 2 nights stay at Trump Towers Hotel, Chicago. Lunch buffet, welcome cocktail, conference ticket, and many more. For those in need of visa support to attend, visit our conference website on conference.chicagowestluxuryhomes.com and register to get an invitation, or call us on 0536 502295 for further information.
Right, so welcome back and thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show. We're bringing you food for thought shortly. Thank you. You're still here.
Yes, to promote my event. We'll be there this evening.
Oh, the Heritage.
Italy versus Spain. Yes,
oh, I'll be there.
Big game, huh?
I'll come and watch.
Yeah.
Is that 4:30?
No, that's the England match. That one is 7.
7
after work. Yes.
Okay. So you're watching all of it there.
Yes. Passed by the Heritage Craft Brewery there. It's at ANC Corner.
I know that place.
You know that place?
Oh, I know.
It's different from ANC Mall.
ANC Corner. I know that
Thank
place.
you. The place is a corner.
ANC Corner. You watch the
but the place is very nice.
You watch the brewing of the beer and everything.
Hey, Winston.
Thank you, Tahiru. Thank you very, very much. Let me get to Uncle Ebo White with food for thought, brought to us by Roverman Productions. Be the difference. Uncle, good morning.
How are you, sir? You're looking good this morning.
Oh, thank you very much, Uncle.
I like this color works very well on you.
Oh, okay.
The color combination is great.
Oh, I see. Then I will do more of these.
Yeah, it works very well on you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Your wife gave it to you?
Oh, this morning she was asleep. So this one, I chose it myself. But you know, in choosing it, let me be very honest with you. It was what came. I mean, when I opened the drawer, it was what I saw.
Well, that is the way most of us dress, isn't it? After we come from the bathroom, go to the wardrobe, and then we reach out our hand.
Yes.
And then that is that.
Oh, Fenty, why are you laughing?
And especially in your case, because I can see that most morning you are rushing out of the house.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I can understand that.
What you see is what you wear. It's as simple as that.
You don't have that much. You don't have that luxury.
Not at all.
Oh, today I am going to present. I'm making a presentation that will be very relevant to you. And after that, I'd like to hear your feedback on it, because I'm going to talk about you a few years ago.
Okay.
Because I've dedicated this month to talking about fatherhood.
Yes.
So I realized I haven't done a presentation for a new father yet, and so I'm doing this one for a new father.
Okay.
Which you were a few years ago.
Sure.
And then let's see. But before then, just to inform our listeners that my next play is Takeover. And it premieres on the 5th of July. And it will run that weekend, the 5th of July weekend, and the weekend after that, the 12th of July weekend, at the National Theatre.
Sure.
Winston will give you more details when I'm done. My dear nephew, what good news it is to hear that Equia, your wife, has just given birth to a baby girl. I am glad to know that both baby and mother are doing well. Congratulations to you and to Equia. Tell her that I give her Tinkwa. And to the new baby, I say welcome, and may you be blessed and be a huge blessing. I'm glad that you are excited about being a father. You ought to be. I was moved when you said that when you held the baby in your arms, you felt very deeply that you are prepared not just to die for her, but to kill for her. You said when you held her in your arms, you felt this determination to be a better man and to do everything in your power to give her the best possible life. Yes, being father is wonderful, and I want you to lock the way you are feeling now somewhere in your mind and never let it fade, because in the coming days, you are going to feel sometimes that you never felt that way. You are going to feel there is nothing to being a father but palaver, stress, and expenses. Unlike some Ghanaian men, you did not send Equia off to her mother's house from the hospital, but you brought her home. You instead got her mother to join her in your house, and she's going to be there for a while. Between the new baby, your mother-in-law, and the fact that Equia is now a nursing mother, I can tell you that your life is going to change, and not always for the best. But those challenges and issues will pass. You just have to endure them whilst they last, and always remember why you are having those challenges. You have them because of the gifts of the baby girl. If you are wondering what these challenges are, then let me tell you just a few, just to prepare your mind so you don't get discouraged when reality hits. First of all, living in the same house with your mother-in-law requires some adjustments. I know your mother-in-law loves you and is a good person, but living with anyone in the same space for any length of time has its own issues. Just remember why she is there. You need her to help with Equia and the baby. I know that you love to move around your house just in your boxer shorts. Well, out of respect for your mother-in-law, you have to stop doing that for now. Then, Equia, for the next 1 year at least, you must accept the fact that you have a wife, but you don't have a wife. Equia is now a nursing mother, and for the next 1 year at least, that means more to her than being your wife. It is not because she does not love you. She does, now more than ever. But the baby would need and sap every ounce of her energy, so much so that at the end of the day, she will not have much to give you. Accept that, and remember that it is just a phase. So if sometimes you feel that you no longer matter to her, don't let that feeling gain any legitimacy, because it is wrong. For now, being husband means making yourself available to help her cope with the task and challenge of being a nursing mother. For now, she is as sensitive as a baby, and you should be mindful of that. She is going to be sleep deprived. She is going to be obsessed with the baby. She is going to be anxious and sometimes worried about her. And the baby is going to demand all her attention, and it would sometimes leave you wondering whether you are relevant to her at all. Well, the great news is that you are even more relevant now than ever to her. You are the father of a baby, and you have a place of honor in her heart. But for now, the baby, your baby, needs her more than you do. So, for the sake of your baby, release her to be everything to the baby. Just make yourself useful any way she needs you to be, and you'll be fine. I've spoken of the challenges and issues with your mother-in-law and with your wife. Now, what about the challenges and issues with the innocent baby? Listen, for all your joy and excitement at her birth is going to challenge things. Her birth is going to change things for you and your life and your wife forever. For the next 6 months or so, the baby is the boss of the house, and all of you are her servants. And you must be ready to jump at her every command and call anytime. When she's not asleep, you cannot really sleep. When she's hungry, Ekuya must jump into action immediately, and you have to get out of the way. When she's uncomfortable for any reason, you and Ekuya must consider that as a near emergency.
Sure.
And if she's not well, that is a full-blown emergency. For now, for all the love you feel in your heart for the baby, you must understand that to her, you don't exist yet, and you don't really matter. This is mama's time. Your time as daddy will come later. And remember, you now have a competitor for Ekuya's attention. The good news is that Ekuya is a woman and she can multitask. So just be ready to share. As a man, there will be times when you would wonder if it is all worth it. I can tell you that it is worth every bit of it and more. As father, you have just become the trustee of God's most precious child. You will someday answer for her. Don't let God down. Remember the joy you felt when you held your baby in your arms for the first time? Well, that joy will be eclipsed completely by a much greater joy as she grows and she begins to love you. Today, you love her unconditionally. Tomorrow, she will love you unconditionally and unreservedly. And her love is going to make you live longer and happier. I guarantee you that. Once again, congratulations, and prepare your mind for the adventure of a lifetime. Yes, being father and husband is a call to be Superman. Oh, my dear nephew, I'm so happy for you and Ekuya, and welcome to fatherhood. And this is from your uncle and the grandfather to your baby girl, Ebo.
Wow, I see. Well, it actually explains everything you go through. The joys of fatherhood or motherhood, but this one, the joys of fatherhood, and then
yes,
in no time, everything about your life would have to change. You have to go. You have to go home early sometimes because the woman would have to dash somewhere. You have to go look after the baby.
That's right.
The baby sometimes, would not just let you be. He wants to play with you, and they do all manner of things. When they wake up at night to eat, you have to wake up.
You have to wake up, yes. You have to wake up.
Yeah, but there's joy. On Sunday, Father's Day, I traveled, I was rushing home just because I wanted to get home before my son sleeps because I knew that he was waiting for me to wish me a happy Father's Day.
Okay.
Yes, and once I got home, he rushes to the car. Daddy, happy Father's Day. I have a card for you. Come. It was exciting, and it was something I was actually looking forward to. It brought so much joy to me. But I'm sure at that moment you forget all the sleepless nights.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. Yes, it's worth it.
It is.
We say it's worth it.
It is.
And to all the young fathers there, Sometimes you feel that you're not relevant, but hang in there. That this time will come.
Most definitely.
This time will come.
It will.
So hang in there.
All right.
Have a good weekend, Abadise.
Thank you very much, Uncle White, for joining us with Food for Thought. And it's now time for the Joy Business Minute, brought to us by Consolidated Bank Ghana CBG. We stand with you and Anointed Electricals, the generator experts.
Hello, welcome to the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, Anointed Electricals, the generator experts, and Waikari Capital, together towards tomorrow. 77% of Ghanaians are reporting a significant stress on their livelihoods due to the rising cost of living, the impact on their daily life, and consumer behavior. Former Finance Minister Setekwe has warned Ghana's economy is still facing deep structural challenges despite the growth recorded in the first quarter of this year of 4.7%. Economic and fixed income analyst Kweko Akukumsen is upbeat that $360 million from the IMF will go a long way and help stabilize a weakening city. And Chinese car companies have called on Beijing to hit European Union rivals with import taxes of up to 25% if the trading bloc imposes tariffs on vehicles from China. And that's the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, Anointed Electricals, the generator experts, and Waikari Capital, together towards tomorrow.
All right, so welcome back. And Anointed Electrical Engineering Services Limited is into the sales of ultra-silent generators from 5 kVA to 2,500 kVA. And they also undertake maintenance and repairs of all kinds of diesel generators. And they stock genuine spare parts for various generators and also do generator rentals in East Legon. You can locate them on the Lagos Avenue opposite Turmeric Hotel, in Tema on the Tema General Hospital Road, Community 9, just after the overhead, and at Odoko, where they have their head office, number 77 Anointed House of the Odoko Malam Road. They have branches nationwide. Anointed the generator experts. Call them on 0243 480 334. And Riverman Productions, in partnership with the National Theatre and Joy FM, presents an original Able White play titled Take Over. And the play shows on the 5th, 6th, 7th, 12th, 13th, and 14th of July 2024. Showtimes: Fridays, 1 show only at 7 p.m. Saturdays, 2 shows only at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. And Sundays, 3 shows at 1 p.m., 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. So that's more like Riverman 1, 2, 3. Venues at the National Theatre. Rate is 200 Ghana cedis. Buy tickets now via Cover short code *365*535#. For all enquiries, call 0596-921960 or send a WhatsApp message to 0505-546-030. You can follow us on all our social media platforms at Riverman Productions, proudly sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix, and GCB Bank Limited, media partner M Notify and Logistic Movers. Buy your tickets now. Riverman Productions, be the difference. And on Big Stories this morning, brought to us by Telecel, connecting energies, latest from your partner for life, and Equity Health Insurance, here for you. Our focus is on on two things, actually. We'll be talking about who becomes a running mate to the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Well, the National Intelligence Bureau says the NPP members want Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh as the party's running mate. What's your take? Well, we'll find out here on the Super Show. But first, let's do some birthday messages, Raymond, before we get into the discussions. And today is the birthday of William Morrison, a.k.a. Corozis. This name is heavy. Corozis, who's head of corporate affairs, GWO Civil Solutions. Happy birthday to the most amazing husband in the world. Every moment with you is a treasure, and we are so grateful for your love, strength, and unwavering support. You make our lives complete, and we're beyond blessed to share this journey with you. May your day be filled with joy, laughter, and all things that make you happy. Here's to many more wonderful birthdays together. We love you more than words can say. From Audrey, your wife, Jason, Janelle, Jed, and all your numerous children and family. So happy birthday to you, William Morrison, a.k.a. Cruises. This one also says, happy birthday to Miss Trudy Animal, country manager of Smart Mac GH Limited, country manager of Smart Mac GH Limited. And it's coming from your family, Pearl Animal, Jason, Janice, Bijou, Hailey, and Jojo. Also from Odisha Dadaba of Golden Sail Logistics, the RVI family, and the staff of Smart Mac, and all your loved ones, wishing you a day filled with joy and a year as vibrant as your spirit. From all of us, happy birthday, Trudy. Finally, happy birthday to Isabella Jan at Infantiman Senior High School, asking for God's divine favor and blessings and a long life. And it's coming from Mr. and Mrs. Jan to you. Raymond, any birthday shouts?
Now, this one says, happy birthday to Mr. Kobna Edu from Winneba, formerly of GCB. You turn 82 today, and this is actually from your children. And the other one says, please, I want you to wish my darling daughter, Erefua Texan, a happy birthday. She's actually celebrating her 16th birthday. Long life and good health, Erefua Texan. Yes. Erefua is on fish. I know it's not so.
This one says
Era and F. Okay, yeah, Erefua. Yeah, this is from Reverend Dr. Ato Texan.
This one says, happy birthday to Remy Kofi of Ejuso, from your friend Bernard Abeku Quason. Okay, so Raymond, I'm sure you may have seen.
Well, you did the Corosis one, right?
Yes, Corosis. Yes.
Head of corporate affairs.
Yes.
Corosis.
You should have played Zafanat Pania.
Oh, heavy.
The name Corosis.
But no, the name is William Morrison, right?
William Morrison.
It is the AKA.
That is where the problem is.
Oh.
What was your guy name?
I've enjoyed life without any such ones. Evil people have sought to, among other things, attack me unfairly. They look at your head size and want to say something, and I bind them in Jesus' name. But
my English language teacher in Mali school, I was told years before I got there, some of the students wanted to give her a nickname. And she said, oh, well, I don't mind any nickname, but not as terrible as Chimorazo.
Oh.
And you know what her nickname is now? Chimorazo. How can you tell students that you don't want a nickname as terrible as Chimorazo? So they give her the name Chimorazo.
So there is one that I should bring to your attention. Yes. Oh, you've done Remy Kofi,
yes,
right?
I've done that one.
In Ejuso.
Yes, I've done that.
Yes. It's from Richard Mensah.
Yes.
I just saw the message too. So maybe I needed to make sure that it's done before Richard kills me.
But we have to give you a nickname, so that's what I'm thinking about now.
Today is Tafim Ali Bonte's birthday. Yesterday was Makafui Ojo Efiye's birthday. Yes. But why? Why are you intending to cause havoc to a man
because of
God?
your head, they wanted to give you
some evil people attempt at times.
A guy who had a big head.
Contrary to the expected regulation.
A guy who had a big head.
But they don't know that there are rules all over the world against body
I'm not
shaming.
giving you any, but I'm telling you, one of my friends
But
who
you
has
can't
big
use
head.
but
No,
mindful
but I'm
of
giving you his
hold on. Mindful of your head size. You cannot be. We cannot engage in.
I said I had a
attacks on each other.
friend who had a big head in secondary school. His name was T. Piley.
And it was smaller than yours.
It was bigger than mine.
Well, it's interesting the way you are making it look like. I didn't know it was possible.
No, it's possible.
That's
how you
somebody ought to. This one requires a proper scientific determination. We have to take the head circumference and check all the sides to see whether mine is bigger than yours or not. Yeah.
You know, there's one that says, what can you say? We have concluded. Anyway, so Raymond, the National Investigations Bureau, Intelligence Bureau, NIB.
Yes.
They've come out with a survey, a research that they conducted. They spoke to some 5,116 members, delegates of the NPP. And they say they'd prefer Dr. Matthew Poku. In fact, 76% of them prefer Dr. Matthew Poku compared to 10% preferring Dr. Yao Osei Edichum as running mate. For many, this is like a confirmation of, Dr. Prempeh becoming a running mate. But a bit of the research also says that there are people who wouldn't mind. I mean, whoever is brought Once that person is NPP, they're good to go.
Mm.
But the conversation today is about Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh. What does he bring to the Bawumia ticket? Is he the right man?
Is this an abridged version of the entire report?
May look like. It does look like.
Yeah, but it's not stated here that it's a survey on intelligence assessment reports. So the intelligence assessment here was what? Who becomes leader or the MPP running mate. Now, because you see, there's a part that I was interested in when they raised, because I did not see any comprehensive methodology page, which is even for a brief report important because it will inform the relevance people put on it. Are MPP officers across the country 5,000?
No.
Or it's more than that. So there will be a criteria you use in selecting the people you have selected for the survey, which is important, which may affect results and other things, or even enhance the credibility of the report. So your methodology section would help us appreciate this, so that we are all on the same page and not. And I'm saying this thing because I hear people when other posters put out polls, and you hear the kind of response that they put to it. If this work in the same shape, mode, and form was put out by my good friend Musa Dankwa, people would have rejected it. They would have had so many questions and have dismissed him as being problematic. The other point I raise is also to do with the part where there's a categorical statement that a significant majority of respondents, approximately 84%, view Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh as the ideal running mate for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia due to his charisma and popularity among party members. And the reference is made. The reference is made to Figure 2, and says about. But I want to see Figure 2. Figure 2. They are just donuts of visualization of what percentages best pair for the flag bearer is 16% for Yawa Duchum and 84% for Matthew Opoku Prempeh. Then perceived party choice is 12% for Yawa Duchum and 88% perceived party choice. Then preferred gender, then the people want 94% want a man or male, and female is 6%. Acceptance for running mate 11% and 89%. I don't know how this corroborates the charisma and popularity reasons they put out there. Mostly, there would have been a list of reasons given us that when we asked them, they gave 12 different reasons. We ordered the 12 reasons into the top 5. And we have selected that most of them, as in 84% chose charisma or 82% chose popularity as the main reason why they believe that he should be. That is not the data, as the figure is not correspondent with the claim that's being made in the interpretation or the allusion that the majority of respondents, approximately 4%, view Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh as the ideal running mate due to his charisma and popularity among party members. That's also the slight difficulty, I believe, there. And however, 89% stated they would accept whoever Dr. Bawumia selects as his running mate, which means that there's, we needed more on this to ground it properly, Winston, so that there's no confusion about how the interpretation of this should be. Do you know why? On one hand, I don't know how the questions were framed and the answer that elicited here. So if I say that this is the choice that should be the best pair, it's being framed as if I cannot impose it on the candidate, and that whatever the candidate gives me, I'm also okay with it. But the grouping says, it should come from another area. So are they saying whatever the candidate chooses for us from Ashanti region or for any other area, we're okay with it? Because there's a part of it that says that preferred region of running mate, it is 92% wanted it to come from the Ashanti region. And they list the rest of the regions. Some of the regions there is a 0.0 something. Okay, well, Upper East, for example, 0.04. Western North, 0.06. And all of these other things are there. If you do not have the question that elicited the kind of response, it may be a bit problematic to draw conclusions out of which is what we want to do when we want to break it down properly. Maybe the guy who is the intended beneficiary of this report understands it and has the fuller report. But since we happen to have been recipients of the intercepted one, we may not be able to demand for further and better particulars on this.
So the thing that we can certainly be sure of, no need for assumption, is that these two bits of information were given in answer to two separate questions, not the same question, right? So there must have been a question that gave them the information that 84% would prefer Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh out of the options available. Then there must have been some other question to which the answer was that they would accept whoever Dr. Bawumia selects, and that was 89%. So in essence, there are more people who don't care who, as long as it's Dr. Bawumia's choice, than those who prefer that it should be Dr. Opoku Prempeh. 89%, 84%. So what does that mean to the vice president who has to make the choice?
Is it 89% of the people who responded to that question, or 89% of the
89% stated they would accept whoever Dr. Bawumia selects as his running mate.
But you know the question I'm asking?
You are asking whether it's 89% of the whole population, or of those who answered that question.
No, because sometimes you may have 15 questions. Some people will choose that on question 12, 500 out of the 5,000 will be the ones answering that. So some of these ones are,
I'm with you. But there is no, is no explanation given of how that.
So yes, and Raymond, based on the question you ask, the response you would get, then you would now look at it and say, because of this and that, this is the position you could, this is the inference you make. So they asked people based on a response whether it matters. Whether the candidate Dr. Bawumia chooses would matter. And they say, well, anybody Dr. Bawumia brings, we are prepared to support that person.
Right.
That is different from who would you prefer. So these are people who are prepared to support their party, but you have 11% saying it matters the candidates that you bring. So of the 11% that says it matters the candidate that you bring, what is the preferred candidate? Now you then would have to go into the details of it. And so whoever sanctioned this would know what this means. And, because the impression has been created that Dr. Bawumia, as a man who believes in data, was going to send names around for people to decide. And I heard this about 2 or 3 months ago.
Is that really what happens?
I don't. This
is what I had learned.
But which people to decide?
This is what I learned 3 months ago.
For which people to decide?
The party.
Yes, but as somebody who is interested in numbers, I would have thought that he is more interested in what the voters would decide than what the party, because the party is a captive audience. And this proves it, by the way. 89%, if 89% of them say they would accept whoever he selects. So they are a captive audience.
But he didn't know this ahead of the survey.
Did he know this ahead of the survey?
He didn't know that
his party will vote for him.
Would accept. No. That's the difference.
Okay, so
you see, we are talking about people who are going to go out there to actually campaign, do everything to actually push your candidacy. One of the things you don't want to do is have them have difficulties with the people you are putting out there. There are principal people that can say, no, listen, if this guy is on a ticket, I'm not going to campaign.
Fair enough. So now he has the information.
Yes.
But the information here is that the number of people who will accept whomever he chooses is higher than the number of people who want Dr. Opoku Prempeh. So as the decision maker, what does this mean to you? Does this mean that you are locked into the choice of Dr. Opoku Prempeh, or do you have the freedom to choose whomever you want, knowing that 89% of those who answered the survey will still support you?
So if you go by the statements that others have made in the NPP, some people who are close to the campaign has made, it suggests that this looks like a confirmatory research to me. It looks like a confirmatory research. From all the, Raymond, the questions you raised about it, looks like this is a research that seeks to confirm something. So somebody, and sometimes, I've made up my mind. I send you to go and do a research for me. And then it comes back to say, oh, this is what we found. Because if you are really doing a research that says you wanted to really test people's opinions, you'd have provided more information than what you have in here. So this looks like a confirmatory research. So you're just stepping out there. You want to find out, do you like this person? In fact, it will be important to know the questions. And if it's a confirmatory research, then it's more of, the party confirming what the presidential candidate may be thinking. Because if we take And,
or the
miracles
party
about
seeking to force the hand of the presidential candidate in a certain direction, in a way that appeals to him, which may be research or survey or induced anyway.
If we take, for instance, what Miracles Abba just said. He says, the presidential candidate or the vice president had known from day one, even before he was elected, the person he was going to go with. And Raymond, you remember in January 2021, we did an assessment of ministers. The moment we finished the assessment of ministers, we had said at the time that, the education ministry, we credited, a lot of the successes to Dr. Yawose Educhum,
who was a deputy at the time.
Right after that, I got calls from persons who said, look, after the elections, there'll be the need for running mates, and we are preparing, Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh as running mate. And that was like the third or fourth time I'd heard that if Bame became flag bearer of the NPP, he was going to be his running mate. At the time, Educhum's name had not come up, for instance. And even before election 2020, I heard, for instance, from someone very close to the Bawumia family, we're going to go with Matthew Poku Prempeh if Bawumia is selected as flag bearer. But anyway, we'll come back and talk about this.
Let me just share the results of our survey so far, because we put out a survey for you to participate in. We thought the NIB has asked the party, so we will ask the nation. Do you think Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh will be a good vice presidential candidate? And the answers, the options were yes, no, or maybe. 9% of you say maybe, 17% of you say yes, 74% of you say no. And that's out of 208 votes that we've had so far. So keep voting. Go and tell us what you think. We'll keep sharing the results with you.
And life can be unpredictable, and when health issues arise, it is reassuring to have the right support in place. For this reason, Equity Health Insurance has introduced the ABS policy. With Equity Health Insurance's ABS policy, you can enjoy the peace of mind you deserve for as little as 15 Ghana cedis a month. You stand to benefit up to 500 Ghana cedis anytime you're admitted to the hospital. Equity ABS is designed to provide you with some financial support during your hospital stay, ensuring that you focus on your recovery rather than worrying about mounting bills. So why wait? Secure your future with Equity Health Insurance's ABS today. Call us on 0202693237 to sign up. Equity Health Insurance, here for you.
Now you're about to have the world at your fingertips because the wait is finally over. Telcel is here. Now you have everything you want and need. Quick and reliable communication. Stress-free money transactions via Telcel Cash. Transforming your big business ideas into success stories with Telcel Business and More. Connect with Telcel and enjoy a world of endless possibilities. Because with Telcel, there's no limit to connections. Telcel, connecting energies.
Now picture this. You're lying in bed after a long day seeking comfort and relaxation, but instead you're met with a mattress that sags beneath you, a reminder of shortcuts and compromises. Your comfort and well-being should have never been compromised, and that is why at Latex Foam, they prioritize quality above all else. Step into their showrooms and experience the difference for yourself. Their high-quality mattresses and furniture are crafted with your ultimate relaxation in mind. Picture waking up refreshed, rejuvenated, and ready to take on the day. That's the Latex Foam promise. Invest in your well-being. Choose Latex Foam, otherwise you do yourself. Latex Foam, your partner for life. Go visit them today and sleep better tonight. Call 0302 231155 or just go to latexfoamghana.com.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Auntie T, abeg, fix me gobetete Ghana. No garri, no oil, no plantain, just beans then eggs.
Hey, brah, that be dangerous combination, no.
Problem no day. I fit handle am.
For Telecel, we the Bob say everybody gets what they like. That be why Made For Me bundles day. Based on your usage, you fit get your own data and call packages. Fala! Made For Me bundles like the way you the want them. That *530#, then buy Made For Me bundles today.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Hey
Cashman. Yeah. Don't you know Nana has assembled all of us and you are here making calls?
My generator is spoiled too. So I'm calling a renowned Ghanaian company with an excellent track record in the sales and repairs of generator sets in Accra to come and repair for me.
Is it Anointed Electricals?
Yeah.
Anointed Electricals deals in quality and genuine generators with high fuel efficiency. We also rent generators.
They sell quality generators from 10 kVA to 2500 kVA. They have spare parts of other generators and can repair every faulty generator set even if you didn't buy from them.
Look, now we don't have any electrical problem in Accra.
How?
Because Anointed Electricals is right here at East Legon, Lagos Avenue, opposite Tomric Hotel.
And that's why Nana is calling us.
Okay.
Yes. If you want to buy a brand new generator or repair the old one, visit Anointed Electricals. Or if you are within Accra, call our hotline 0246 423 534
or call 0243 480 334. They have qualified and dedicated men on 24-hour after sales service.
Then let's go and listen to Nana. Let's go.
Gosh, after giving you the hint, won't you give me anything?
Anointed, the generator experts.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
Right, so welcome back and thank you very much for staying with us. This is the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. This morning we're joined by the president of the Ghana Electrical Contractors Association. He's right here in studio with us here on the Super Morning Show, Awal Sakib Mohammed. Good morning.
Good morning, Winston.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
I'm fine. You enjoyed the salah very well.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Great to know. So, I mean, before we get into everything about, your concerns with charges and all of that, tell us a bit about the Ghana Electrical Contractors Association.
So, Ghana Electrical Contractors Association was established in 1948 to serve as a focal point for meeting of licensed electrical contractors and practitioners for the purpose of promoting safety and quality in the electrical construction space. We also promote and maintain a good rapport between our members and the public. We're a nationwide association. Over the period of our existence, we've helped promote, or we've played key role in implementation of several policies, including the LI 1816. We have representation at various state agencies, including the Ghana Standards Authority, where we have a member on the technical committee. We have a member on the Ministry of Trade. Now they call it Be Ready. It used to be Ease of Doing Business.
Okay.
So we have a member on the Be Ready committee. We actually have a representation on Ministry of Energy's Advisory Board, which happens to be my good self, and then so many other organizations. So basically, we promote and safeguard the interests of electrical contractors and the public.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are your concerns with, the ECG charges on rechargeable job?
Now, if today you apply for what we call a service connection, there are different categories of premises. A premises for which the sheer size of its load, require a substation, a primary substation, or what they call a dedicated substation, or your premises, for instance, I'm sure you have your own substation. If you have a premises that require a certain level of quality of power or reliability of power, then you need your own substation. Now, what happens is that when you apply for such service, ECG will visit your premises, do their own assessment, and then give you a bill. Now, in that assessment, today, what happens is even before ECG leaves their premises, they'll make sure you pay a 10,000 Ghana cedis unrefundable before they come to your premises. And when they have come and done all the assessment, which will lead them to developing drawing and quotations and all that, now they will go and prepare an estimate. So then you are likely to pay the estimate less the 10,000 that you have paid. What we have realized, that 10,000 is making it difficult for people to even to apply for power. Now, you remember, it is only businesses and some serious commercial edifices that require transformers. So if you come, before you even come to assess my premises, you are requiring me to pay this amount of money, for which if I don't have, it means it's going to delay my plan in commissioning and all that. So now when they have prepared all the estimate, what we've realized is that there are some components of the charges where they call it preliminaries, which normally the 10,000 is captured under, and they also have what they call contingency. Our concern is that you are engineers. The kind of services ECG provides, it is not too complicated. If I come to your premises, I should be able to tell what size of transformer you need. A transformer is a transformer. It doesn't come with any complicated parts that you say is hidden, and for that matter, you cannot determine whether that part is needed or not. And then an RMU is an RMU. We all know, based on the specs, how much oil the RMU will require. If they are going to lay an underground cable, you can just measure the distance, knowing the cable sizes, and all the other components that are required are physical. And so we ask the question, why charge 10% of the total material cost as contingency? If indeed you know all the components, you know what everything that is
Is it your view that charge is too much and that they can actually charge less? What's wrong with, say, we're charging you 10% of the material cost?
Now, the assessment that you do is for you to establish the components or the material that is required. It's only the materials that will create a contingency. In our case, or in ECG's case, it's only the material. So all the material you've done, if you have done due diligence, you should not be charging. You see, your premises, I'm sure you will be hitting around 500 kVA or something. A 500 kVA transformer today in the open market is $12,500. You need another equipment to protect such a transformer, which is $11,000. Now the other components come. So you'll be spending close to about 500 to 600,000 Ghana cedis. If someone is charging you 10% of 600,000 Ghana cedis as contingency, and that contingency they don't explain to anybody. I mean contingency after the construction, you should be able to tell the person, we charge you this amount of money for contingency for this and that reason we didn't use it, and so this is your refund. Or we use part of it, and so this is your refund. But it doesn't happen. So this amount makes the whole service application very expensive. Aside that, they will charge you for labor. And they also charge you 15%, which they call company charges. So in all, you find that there are some over 20 something, almost 30% margin on whatever ECG is charging that is making the cost of application of dedicated transformer very expensive. We find that to be worrying. We have situations where people have, when you start construction, you get to a point before you apply for power.
Yeah.
And most people, you can actually apply for the power if your substation is outdoor. But many buildings, you have to put up the structure, you have to provide a place for substation and all that before the transformer is erected. So you find that many people just apply for smaller meter for construction, and when they are done, and then they apply for the big meter. Now what happens is people don't have an idea how much they will be charged. ECG visits your premises, they do the assessment, and they tell you that you have to pay this amount of money for us to supply you all the materials, or you not get connected.
Okay.
Now today, the question is, ECG, we are in a liberal environment. Why would ECG, being a public institution, be banning people from buying their own material? It should be possible for me to say that, okay, fine, I have a relationship with a supplier. I mean, your materials, I don't want
You don't buy your own materials?
I don't buy, yeah, you don't want to allow you. Even if you do, they will surcharge you for that. So electrical dealers are suffering. People have stock. If you know that, I'm sure you know the electrical industry. It's a mega industry. It requires a lot of investment to stock even 5 transformers in your warehouse. It's not small money.
How long has this been going on?
For about 3 years. It started during Budu's time. We met him. I mean, we couldn't conclude it. And now, since coming into this leadership, we've met them a number of times. They promised to meet us again. And they've been, if I should say, they've been running away from us.
So what do you want ECG to do now?
So what we want is today, we want the PURC, which is the regulator, to come up with clear-cut policies. This is not the only utility provider in the country. The question is, why isn't NEDCO charging same? NEDCO allows people to buy their own materials. Are you saying that now the excuse ECG engineers will give you is that people buy fake materials? You don't have the authority to determine whether a product is fake or not. It's only Ghana Standards Authority that have been mandated to do so. Are you telling us that the systems that are being installed at NEDCO, we know, even have a better system, except that they have challenges with power quality? If you go to NEDCO, the kind of quality of workmanship you find there is unmatched. Except that the voltages that gets there is poor, and so people find it difficult putting up factories and all that. But so what they do is they will allow you to buy your own materials, and then they charge you very little for connection. So we are asking the question, why do we live in a country where there's no standard as to how much one should be charged for rechargeable jobs? If you apply for service for your house, there's a standard fee which is set by PURC. So ECG and NEDCO, they charge same. So it should be possible for us to also have at least some baseline when it comes to rechargeable jobs. And then ECG should take its hand off material purchases. Their core mandate is to buy and sell power. There's nothing wrong. You do maintenance. So you buy your own materials and use it to do your own maintenance. But to prevent people from procuring their own materials is unacceptable. Now, even the materials, transformer, you can only install a transformer in ECG's network when they have tested it. All the importers, when they bring their transformer, they send them to ECG for them to test and issue them with a test report. But yet still, you prevent people from buying such transformers. I mean, that's double standard. So we are saying that buying of materials, ECG should focus on their core mandate, which is that they are to buy and sell power. They can import their own materials for their maintenance and whatever. But when it comes to private people that want dedicated transformers, it should be possible for people to buy materials from the open market. Their prices are highly inflated. I mean, you sometimes wonder where they get the things from. And one unfortunate thing is that you prevent people from buying with the excuse that the materials in the market are fake. And these are the same people that supply you materials. They imported. They are the same people that you buy from.
So what happens if ECG fails to heed your request?
Now, so we would like to believe that the president, he means well when he spoke about the industrialization of the country. And so we think that maybe this has not come to his attention, even though we petitioned several institutions. We're sure that it has not come to his attention. And we are sure that knowing the little he has done with the 1D, 1F, if it comes to his attention, he will make sure that this thing is addressed. So we have several ways we are dealing with it. This is just one of them. And then we can go as far as going to court to get a relief on to get a pronouncement on whether some of the charges are actually legal or not. We can even hit the street. So we pray that we don't get there. We know that the leadership of this country, they mean well for the country. And so when we sit around the table, we should be able to find solutions to this thing so that businesses can thrive. People can set up businesses. You know, the government cannot do it alone. You need the private sector. And if the private sector is saddled or has to go through this stress. In a normal environment, ECG is the one who's supposed to provide all these services for you and bill you for you to pay. You don't have the capacity. So the private sector is ready to contribute in this case. So why burden them?
All right. So but have you, appealed to the president?
We've appealed to him through the Ministry of Energy. We are yet to get a response. We've appealed to through the Minister of Trade and other state agencies. In the coming day, we are actually going to seek an audience with the president himself. I mean, for us, we know that today it's evidence that the only institution that ECG respects is the presidency. I tell you. I know somebody will contest it, but the only institution that ECG listens to is the presidency. So we are going to seek an audience with the president and hope that this matter is addressed as soon as possible.
Awal Sakib Mohammed, thank you so much for joining us this morning. He's president of the Ghana Electrical Contractors Association. We wish you all the best in your advocacy. We'll be monitoring, and whenever there's a need to speak to you again, we'll definitely do that.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
for having
us.
Very much
for joining us. Stay with us. There's more after these.
ACE Events Management UK presents the 30th anniversary of the Water Africa and West Africa Building and Construction Exhibition and Seminar from June 26 to 28 at the Accra International Conference Center. The event offers a unique opportunity for companies worldwide and locally to showcase their products and services in the water, sanitation, housing, environment, and construction sectors. Attendance is free. The exhibition will complement a 3-day seminar covering vital topics on water and sanitation, building and construction, and a CPD course and workshop by Professor Bob Ando. Attendance to the seminar and exhibition is entirely free. For more details, visit www.aceevents.com or call 0556 304 521. Thank you to our sponsors: Syntex Tank, Herring Connect Tunneling Services, Polytank, Aquagrow Limited, Water Resource Commission South Africa, and Aquagrow. Ministries of Sanitation and Water Resources, Works and Housing proudly endorse the event. Media partners: Joy News, Joy Business, and Ghana Web.
Hey, welcome back to work.
Charlie, thanks, bro.
The malaria really knocked you down, eh?
Charlie, no joke. Hey, fever, headache, vomiting, loss of appetite. I couldn't even eat my usual fufu.
You and fufu?
How we go do it?
I hope you got tested before the malaria treatment.
Oh, yes, I did. And thanks to Malatu, I kicked out malaria one time.
Sharp. Anyway, sorry to ruin your excitement, but your boss asked of you.
Okay.
She says she has plenty work for you.
No problem, Charlie. Strength day.
You see,
When malaria strikes, take Malatu, containing Artemether and lumefantrine. Comes in tablet and
and suspension for the effective treatment of malaria in adults and children. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Mala 2 is manufactured and distributed by Ernest Chemists Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Name is Akrobeto. I like my mind peace. That's why I go get my bumper insurance from Holland Life. Just yesterday, my Abushapedi asked everybody to pay 1,000 Ghana cedis for a penny funeral. But Masa, Nukureni, and Mosomekora. My bumper helped me cover cost of funeral and any disability cost by paying 2 Ghana cedis per Busumibia. A simple cry.
Yes, with as little as 2 Ghana cedis, you too can have peace of mind about cost of injury and funeral by simply registering with Mibambo Insurance from Holland Life. Just dial *269# on MTN or Telecel and follow the prompts. It's really that simple. Enjoy peace of mind today, knowing your tomorrow is covered. Mibambo Insurance, made for you.
If you teach me before, say nothing they last forever.
7 FM is 5 minutes to 9. DJ Wobete flexing his fingers a little bit. That first song was really nice. That's Kamido's new tune. I quite enjoyed that. I'll certainly be downloading it. It's called... Oh, where is it again? I had the title here. Yeah, I'll stream it. That's what I mean. Not download it. It's called Nothing Lasts Forever. Please forgive me. I'm an old man. I'll stream it.
On Apple Music, there's a slot for you to download.
Is that so?
Yes.
So I'm being misinformed by the backroom boys.
But stream is mostly what they say. It's the age gap.
It's a what?
It's an age
generation gap. Yeah, it's a nice tune though. Check it out. Okay, so let's get to our conversation today. We've been priming it. We want to have a discussion about the National Intelligence Bureau's report, which they have shared. It has leaked. I was going to say they have shared. They probably shared with some people, but it has leaked now and is in the public domain. This report suggests that an overwhelming majority, about 84% of some 5,000 odd delegates and party members of the NPP have said resoundingly that they would prefer to have Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh as running mate to Dr. Bawumia in the coming election. Let's figure out what it all means. We are joined by Dr. Kwame Asa-Asante, who is with the University of Ghana, and he's helping us with some analysis here. Dr. Asa-Asante, what a pleasure to have you. Good morning.
Good morning, Kojo, and good morning to my friends in the Winston and Raymond.
That's right.
Good morning, Doc.
So maybe we'll just jump right in. First of all, exactly how significant is the findings of this NIB report?
It is very significant in the sense that from where I sit, it is nothing but a true reflection of what is the situation on the ground. You want to get somebody as a running mate to Bawumia. You need certain qualities that will be part and parcel of the characteristics that you need to have a candidate who will lead the party. And I have no doubt in my mind that Napo stands tall than the rest of those who people have, touted their names and bandied their names about.
Right. Well, let's start to interrogate some of it. Now, why is it that Napo appeals to the members of the party? What is it about him that makes so many members of the party consider him their choice?
Yeah, politics is a game of numbers. And if you look at Napo, he's close to the rank and file of the party, as well as the top brass. Apart from that, given the ministries that he has served, he has a number of following due to the policies that put in place that have, resonate with homes and families and the rest of them. Remember that we are dealing with a game which is, manned by numbers. So, and against the backdrop that we operate a certain electoral system, which is first past the post system. One vote will push you from a candidate to become an MP or a president. So if you have somebody who is a toast of many, obviously is going to increase your chances, all things being equal, that you are going to get the numbers. Let us also talk about the fact that, you see, places that you worked are places that in politics will also define your political movement. For instance, if you look at the Ministry of Education Ministry as an entity, look at every home. There is at least somebody who is at one level or another in terms of the educational, career. So if you churn out a policy that resonates with homes and families, obviously your name becomes a household name and it increases your popularity. That aside, we can also look at the ticket when we say a running mate, which if people give your flag bearer the nod to become the president, what are you bringing to bear on the ticket? There are 3 or 4 considerations for selecting a running mate. One is you need somebody who will come and complement the ticket of the flag bearer, so that in event that the flag bearer will not be able to, if he ultimately becomes the president, he will not be able to continue with running out the affairs of the state. You step into the shoes and then you run the state without any difficulty. So it's that quality they look for, and they look for somebody who has certain qualities to come and complement what his leader has. Dr. Bawumia, you and I are alive to the fact that he's an economist through and through. But Opoku Prempeh, if he's brought on board, is bringing an experience from the education ministry because he has held that position. He's also bringing experience from the Ministry of Energy. Energy is associated with our lives through and through. So that cannot be discounted. You are also talking about a legislator who has been in Parliament for, if my memory serves me right, more than 2 terms. So that is a wealth of experience. Beyond that, you are looking for somebody who has medical background, that he appeals to that constituency. So he's bringing this thing on board to come and support his leader who has something on the economy. It is this type of calculation that if you look at jurisdictions all over the world, that's the consideration that they take when they are selecting what they're running mate. Right. And I will also bring to focus the fact that this is one of the considerations that brought Biden closer to Obama, because Biden was so much, experience in diplomacy. America is what it is because of diplomacy. So there's somebody who has been a senator for years. So that wealth of experience, let's bring him to tie with Barack Obama. That was the consideration. So that is the person who is coming to complement the strength of the flag bearer. Aside that, you are looking at somebody also who can appeal to other groups of people within the country. And Apo, look at the fact that he's a medical officer. He appeals to families, individuals, groups, because apart from that, he has served the various ministries he has served are going to also, the benefits for serving in that ministry and introducing a policy like, for instance, education ministry, free SHS, which has resonated with the people of this country. Obviously, you are going to touch in on that. And then the, the Ministry of Energy. Even though I acknowledge that there are problems but as a politician, you don't only go in for the praises. You must also brace yourself for the problems that confront that ministry to find yourself, and then have answers when questions are posed to you. So that is one thing. Then above all, you are looking for somebody who will come and support your running mate, because that individual also is the one who you can work with, and you flow with that person, and the person also is able to have relationship with the rank and file of the party, and as well as the nook and cranny of this country. So it's a whole wealth of factors you consider. Aside all these things, when you look at all the names that have been bandied around, the party that we are looking for somebody from Ashanti region. The simple and short of the message is that they want to ginger the people in Ashanti region to vote. If it is for any reason, then the person should come from anywhere in this country. But remember, we are not into beauty contests. I'm sorry to say that. We are in to look for somebody who can restore power. So for a party, that is their consideration. So they look for a place that people will be gingered the most to support the party. If you look at, and 3 places come to mind. Ashanti region, which is the strongest region in terms of support for the NPP. Then you come and look at the swing regions as well as eastern region. All right, the swing regions are greater and central region. Yes, the candidate could come from any of these. But if you really want to win, you and I know that if we really want MPP want to win in Ashanti region, they don't need to go below 70% of the votes that will be cast in Ashanti region. They should garner that. So if you really want to ginger, then from common sense point of view and strategic perspective, you believe that get somebody from that region to ginger the people and see you can show up your vote. Because there's a tendency for the way things are going, there's a tendency for Ashanti to stay out of the election. Some of them will not be interested in voting and all that. So if the Ejusu experience is anything to go by, you really want to ginger the people, then you get somebody from within there. It's a good candidate.
So, Dr. Asante, would any candidate from the Asante region do in order to fulfill this, 70% and over?
I believe so. I believe that quite apart from our Asante region, I told you that you can also pick from Eastern, from Greater Accra or Central. But if you really believe in, getting the people gingered, and that is your focus, I believe strongly that if you get the Asante region candidate, it will do the magic.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be.
That is not the only consideration why people vote.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be Dr. Opoku Prempeh.
Infrastructure development, and then the fight against corruption, unemployment, and the rest of them. All these things will be brought to bear. But this is one of the factors that will really also support all the numerous factors that are required or that vote.
So, Dr. Asante, I'm asking, so does that mean that it doesn't necessarily have to be Dr. Opoku Prempeh, that the party would accept anyone as long as the person is from the Asante region?
You can, yes, anybody qualifies, but you are looking at among them who is the best in terms of all the things and then the acts that I want to talk about. Apart from all that, you want somebody who stands tall than the rest of them. And that, I think, can be found in Opoku Prempeh. Okay. Look at his background as an Achim and Asante. All right? The mother hails from Achim and father from the Menchia. The parties, you can't discount, institution of chieftaincy, even though they don't play active part in politics and all that. But when somebody comes from a royal family, and of course, we are talking about Menchia, even though the Menchia is not part of the politics of the country and all that, obviously, it robs off you, in terms of your advantage. If you look at the Achim groups within the MPP, they will not let power go completely from their hand. So there's somebody who also hails from Achim land, obviously. It will be a tool of Achim.
Dr. Asante, if indeed his mother is from Achim and his father is Asante, that makes him Achim, not Asante. No,
I am not talking about where he hails from, that kind of thing.
I'm talking about where he hails from. I'm saying that
definition, people get it.
Yeah, if indeed his mother is from Achim and his father is Asante, that makes him an Achim. The Akans are matrilineal.
We won't go there, but let's move on. We are looking at the numbers. Where the Achim group? Because always there's an interest that a group of people want to protect in politics, that they don't want to let power go completely from their hand. So if they are selecting an Asante candidate and there's somebody who has something to do with Achim land, obviously people will gravitate towards him.
Okay, let's talk about his professional career. You talked about his record at the Education Ministry and then at the Energy Ministry. Is he somebody who Ghanaians consider to have been competent in these roles? When he was at the Education Ministry, he was minister when free SHS was introduced. And we all know there were quite a number of hiccups with the introduction of free SHS. Also, while he was minister, his deputy, Dr. Educhum, was actually getting quite a lot of praise and applause. At the Energy Ministry, we all know that the ministry has really gone through a lot of issues with the supply of power in Ghana. Is he considered to have been effective, competent in these roles?
Let's look at the Education Ministry. All right. Yes, he was a minister when that flagship program of the party was introduced, right? He was the implementer of the government policy. Any person who did any job was just complementing the effort of his leader. So you cannot give the credit to his deputy when he was a substantive minister, all right? All these efforts where he was in charge. So from public policy perspective and from governance perspective, he was a man on the beat, and he was doing all that. And he has initial hiccups, and then there are still problems with the policy. There is no public policy without problems. And that is why at the public policy cycle, the last bit is what? Evaluation of the policy, to see whether you need to overhaul or terminate the policy or later. All right. So that overhauling, the conversation is on, we are talking about it. But what the benefits of the program and how the program started, in spite of the difficulties, the results we have attained are also they're available for people to see. So you realize that you cannot say that he did not perform. For me, I believe that he performed, but even though there were problems. All right. You come to energy ministry. Yes, energy, he has performed, but there are problems that are still lingering on. In fact, there I have seen in terms of education ministry, he has performed better than what energy ministry, because the energy ministry, we keep on being deceived into believing that there is no DUMSO. But DUMSO is alive today, and that is something that he has to deal with. I mean, he has to deal with how he is going to convince Ghanaians that he is the material worth considering, and that when he is giving this position, he will be able to deliver the public goods. That is for him to answer. But at least when you compare the two ministries, he performed far better in education ministry than energy ministry. That is not to say that in energy ministry he didn't do anything at all, but we still have what DUMSO. Today, the debate is about what the DUMSO economy versus what the 24-hour economy. Whether we like it or not, that is something that is on the table for us to consider.
Let's talk about the man himself and his what his critics describe as a prickly demeanor. We have seen this exhibited in a number of ways. We've heard him when he talked about how we should go and make our own timetable at the height of the most recent bout of DUMSO, when people were calling for a timetable so they could plan. He said that anyone who is asking for a timetable wishes evil on this country. Just yesterday, even as this report was leaked and making the rounds publicly, Dr. Opoku Prempeh was in Parliament being himself in response to some of the questions that were posed to him by members of Parliament. This prickly demeanor that people point to, how will that serve him in the role of running mate to Dr. Bawumia? And if they are to win and he were to become the vice president, how do you envisage his working relationship with his boss, if indeed he remains the way his critics see him to be?
The problems you have enumerated are nothing but the true situation, at least from where I said the little that I know, it is a fact, all right? But there's nobody who is 100%, correct relative to the issues we are talking about. What we do in politics is that you weigh it against all the baggage you could talk about. And if you see that, yes, there are problems there, you should be able to have answers and how to manage those problems and all that. Because you can't get anybody who is perfect. So when there are problems, you need to manage the person. And that is the work of a political officer who is in party, to be able to manage these things and shepherd the person to the process, cross the Rubicon. Yes, you come into governance, all right? We expect some modicum of respect and the rest of them, all right? That is a different ball game altogether, because there you think that you have got power and you want to misbehave. The next time they show you the exit. So there you learn the hard way. And of course, the management will continue to be an ongoing process. That socialization process, you'll be going through all that. Let us look at all our leaders. We have some of these weaknesses, and that makes us the best of what human beings who are fallible, all right? But you must also be prepared to be walked through a tight rope of, political righteousness so that you become fit for purpose. Otherwise, you can have power, but it will slip through your fingers because people believe that you are the type that will look down upon people, you are snobbish, and the rest of them. I believe that these things, yes, they are issues, but they can be managed.
Now, this survey was of NPP members and delegates. How informative is this to the vice president who wants to win the election and can pretty much take the support of his own party for granted? So, should he be more interested in how the general voting public feel about his choice of running mate?
The general public, obviously, are not so much different from the party, even though when you are, getting views of what party members, it's a little bit different from that of the general country. But remember, the party is also a microcosm of the country. So their views are not totally different from the views of the Ghanaian public. So you believe that, yes, this is the view of the party, if I may put it this way. But obviously, it resonates with certain quarters of the country. That one, nobody can shove it under the carpet. And that it tells you that the person does not only have an appeal within the party, but he has also a national appeal. Nobody can convince me that Opoku Prempeh doesn't have a national appeal. He has.
What is it that leads you to that conclusion? What are some of the matrices that you can point to that lead you to the conclusion that the way the party feels about it?
Driven by contest of ideas and referendum of your work. What work can you show? As a minister for education, the GSS, the senior high school program is there for the world to see. Yes, he performed creditably well there. Energy, they did a few things which is there for the world to see. But there are weaknesses which we are also alive to. Quite apart from that, he has also served his constituents, which is also, a group of people from different backgrounds and all that. And so all these things are part and parcel of some of the canons that will be used to measure these things. In addition to the fact that he has also been close to the rank and file of the party, as well as the top brass of the party.
Of course, a person's electoral track record is important if you want to predict how well he'll do in the future. So, I mean, looking at his own track record in Menchia South, how well has he done there in order to consider how well he can do given a much broader mandate of winning votes across the whole nation?
Obviously, voters always look at the performance of their candidate and decide whether to renew his mandate or not. The fact that they've renewed his mandate for about 2 times or so gives an indication that all is well, even though there may be problems within that constituency. But the good people of the majority of the people believe that he's a material worth considering, and that is why they always put him ahead of others and vote for him. Because it will be a fruitless exercise if you put somebody there and doesn't perform and you continue to maintain that non-performing MP as your representative. Then obviously you don't know what you want. But of course, the people of Menchia South, they know what they want, and they believe that over the years, he has been, in spite of what challenges and all that, he has been able to satisfy them to a certain point. And that is why they continue to renew his mandate.
Dr. Kwame Asasante, I want to say a big thank you to you for your time with us this morning. Very enlightening. Of course, Dr. Asasante is a senior lecturer at the Department of Political Science at the University of Ghana. We've been asking you on X to tell us whether you think Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh will make a good vice presidential candidate for the NPP. And it's been about 2 hours since we posted this. So far, the yes vote has about 18% out of 294 votes cast. The maybe vote has 8%, and the no is 74%. Not exactly in it's not exactly identical to what we got from the National Intelligence Bureau. But of course, this is X, so it's not the same sample size, is it? Okay, let's take some messages. We'll be back after these.
Joe Metal Ministries presents Praise Reloaded 2024. Date Sunday 30th June 2024. Featuring Joe Metal, Nathaniel Bassi, MOG, Sumi Sola Agbebi, Ohema Messi, Pastor Isaiah. Also ministering Luigi McLean, Kofi Usopepra, Enonyam, Jumbo Anebiet, Team Eternity Ghana, CT Praise, Sandra Bwachiduya, and Kwekute. Venue Accra Sports Stadium. Time 3 p.m. It's absolutely free. Simply register on joemetalmusic.com to secure your seat. Sponsors: Silicon House Productions, Green Line Juice and Smoothie, Big Ideas Consult, High End Productions, the Family Health Organization, Tank Palace Hotel, Joburg Ghana Limited, Africa World Airlines, High Pay, Ace Protocol Services, Timeline Creative, Access Security, 360 Productions, DDP, Media Partner, Joy Entertainment. Come and have an experience of your life. This event is proudly brought to you by Reverb Studios.
Everyone is running to Bills. Enjoy the peace of mind that comes with acquiring any of our loan facilities. For whoever you are and whatever you're doing, Bills has a product for you. No susu, no deposits. All you need is your Ghana card. Call 0302-200-390 or 0596-928-33 today and live a bill-free life. Bills Microcredit is licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Bills, financing your needs. Terms and conditions apply.
Coffee in your cup. Enjoy.
To sharing his 2 cents there on the National Intelligence Bureau report on who who the party, according to their statistics, considers to be the best option for running mate for the NPP, and their research came up with Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh by an overwhelming 84%. So we'll talk about what we've discussed with Dr. Asasante in a moment. But first, accessing super reliable healthcare should be the topmost priority for you and your family. That is why Multi Plus, powered by MTN, is giving you just that today. For a subscription fee of just 25 cedis a month paid on Momo, you can sign on to a health subscription plan that gets you access to unlimited in-store consultations with qualified healthcare professionals and over 160 covered medications and tests at participating pharmacies in the Ablekuma, Sakaman, Dansuman, Mamprubi, and Kaswa townships. Best part is that there is a dedicated nurse at the Multi Pharmacy who can teleconference a doctor when you need it so that you can access the best consultation services. And to get this great product, all you have to do is download the Ayoba app and sign up today with your Momo account. So that's the Ayoba app. Download it and sign up today with your Momo account. Take charge of your health conveniently and affordably. Sign up for Multi Plus, powered by MTN today.
So stay ready for unexpected funeral and accidental disability costs with the Mibambo Life Insurance on MTN and Telecel by Holland Life with as little as 2 Ghana cedis, 5 Ghana cedis, 2 Ghana cedis, 10 Ghana cedis, 25 and 50 Ghana cedis. Per month, you can get up to 30,000 Ghana cedis for funeral and accidental disability cost. Just dial *269# to register on MTN or Telecel, and automatic monthly deductions be made from your mobile money wallet, and as many as 7 biological dependents to cover your spouse, children, parents, grandparents, and in-laws. No stress at all with a quick claims process. Get more assumed J with Holland Life Mebambo and live your best life. It's insurance made for you. Terms and conditions apply.
Now, did you know that 259 stories are born every minute? Yes, 259 unique stories that matter, including yours. And every experience you have helps to shape your stories into exciting adventures. Your story can shape the world and is powerful. Whether you're an individual, family, or business, no story is too big or too small. We are inspired by them all, and your story has just begun. We invite you to write yours with us. Your story matters. Absa Bank.
All right. Okay. So, interesting perception there, shared by Dr. Asa Asante. I was very interested in what he would have to say about Dr. Opoku Prempeh's temperament and his competence in the two portfolios that the president has entrusted him with. I mean, what would a fair assessment be? I mean, just put everything aside, look at the outcomes of his time at these two ministries, education and energy. Is he a good minister?
When you ask that question, it would imply that he played a role in supervisory form at the ministries of education and energy, and that all the happenings in these ministries could be attributed to him. So, implementation of free SHS, all things being equal, under his tenure. Implementation of double track, all things being equal, under his tenure. Implementation of most of the things that happened in education at the time, and all the difficulties with the implementation of free SHS, double track, and all the other attending difficulties could definitely be attributed to him. Yes, and of course, myself, I had raised concerns about how, even though he had a fine opportunity to communicate the very successful things that have been done in the ministry, most of his pronouncements were not as honorable as you expect a member of parliament or a minister to actually be saying. The politicking back comments, for example. And there were others like that. I mean, that got him a lot of flack. So he spent more quality time sometimes defending statements that were either misconstrued or he chose the wrong set of words to communicate in that ministry, instead of telling people the very successes or the very good things they were introducing under the ministry. It was that time that the beacon of hope was rather in the expressions of a certain Yao, or say Educhum, and nobody can take it away from him. It was strange to us mostly in this republic, and up to today, Napo still refuses to admit that there's anything like Doomso happening in this republic. But at the time, you would have somebody like Osaya Educhum look in your face and say, listen, our education is not where it's supposed to be. We are far from having an effective system. But this is what we are going to do, and this is what we intend to put in place. It sounded to many people a more prudent or proper appreciation, or even just communication of what's supposed to be done by a minister. So it was quite clear. This cannot be taken away from the fact that Napo may be perhaps in the background working so hard and doing so well, and yet whenever he chose to communicate, it sent a different signal all together to the rest of us, to energy. And listen, we've had energy ministers, right? The beginning part, there were some that were attributed. You know, I heard some people say, oh, well, one of the highlights, one of the apex happenings of a system that has extreme financial problems is an energy crisis. And that we're weathering the financial crisis we have been through, and subsequently weathering the difficulties we've been through the last few years without a Doomsaw. And we should attribute that to the very successful steering of that ministry by Matthew Opoku Prempeh. Oh, it was really and truly advocated. But along the line, when the crisis started rearing its ugly head, we were invited to spread it along agencies. So whichever unit you want to find. Today it's ECG. Tomorrow it is Greco. The next day it is a certain gas somewhere and all of that.
Just as an aside, I don't know if you noticed that during the Mahama days of Dumso, whenever your lights go off, everybody shouts, "Oh, Mahama!
Yeah.
Oh, Mahama!" But recently, it's "Oh, ECG."
Yeah.
Like suddenly
yes,
we know that there are
we were,
institutions.
In fact, we were invited deliberately to reroute it out, but I had no difficulties with that. I said that the principle would have been that if there's a superintendent ministry directly in charge, they would have taken responsibility for it. But the Dumso period we had recently exposed a certain false narrative that had been said about whether or not he was superintending fully and was fully in charge or delivering some extraordinary work in there. So, I mean, if you take the good side, it's only fair that the negative side, you take it together. So that was a blot on a purportedly wonderful record by Matthew Opoku-Prempeh in there. But then again, one of the biggest criticism that he had, even at education, was repeated here. Apart from not taking leadership at that end, let's be clear on it. He also spent quality time, any opportunity, and I've seen or heard three main ones. When he spoke to our correspondent in that forum, that's when he said if you will go and put together your own one.
Yes.
Secondly, when there was transition of Ameri, one of those plants to Kumasi. Yes. And before that, there's a more recent one, right? Yeah, but before that, he had also made comments in that end saying, see, I had no difficulties with his earlier claim that Dumso was Dumso ACA during his tenure. Leaders can sometimes caption things and give hope to the people. But we all knew it wasn't. We all knew it was one of those things that we're saying. The difficulty with Matthew Opoku-Prempeh is that people made allegations of arrogance against even our sitting president. But see, between 2012 and 2016, you saw the man who was engaging the people of this republic, who was moving, eating, and also real action being taken to correct if it's a misunderstanding of him in any form. I don't think Matthew Opoku-Prempeh has been interested in anything like that. I actually suspect that maybe the people around him are not truthful to him well enough, or they are not having the balls to tell him that it is off-putting the attitude he puts up in public office. And that the public servant sometimes acts in ways that he's some mini monarch with extreme God-given authority to rule over a grouping, cannot be questioned, and has all of the powers involved in there. That maybe that would suffice in a monarchy, but not necessarily in a democratic experiment where you beg the people to give you power. So that is the difficulty with the gentleman we're talking about here. But I agree, if you give him positives, or if you give him Dumso periods, you should be able to also give him the period that we had stable power. We should also be able to give him the period that we started, free SHS. If you actually attribute the difficulties that we had with free SHS subsequently, or even with the double track, to him, it cannot be that we are selective in what we attribute.
Yeah, the successes must also be attributed to him.
Yeah.
You know, people who are close to him, and you hear this a lot, people who work with him, who are close to him, insist that he's the most respectful, affable guy. And it remains a constant mystery to me how he's able to conceal this respect so well when he's talking to the rest of us. And to what end? How do you envisage his working relationship with Dr. Bawumia?
Well, before I get to the working relationship with Dr. Bawumia, Raymond, you're making a point, but it's also important, now, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh cannot escape blame when it comes to what we are going through now with the past situation, because I agree with you that if we give you credit for stable power supply, you might as well take the blame. And that's been my argument all this while. And I've said is that if you say you did this, you might as well take the blame for everything. And so I like it when President Akufo-Addo says he will take all the credit
and take the blame. Because at the end of the day, he's the one that Ghanaians voted for. It will be important for us to also find out one thing. You'd recognize that under his tenure as Education Minister, Raymond, one of the things he did very well was that any time you had the least hint of an industrial action, it was solved. So you never had a situation where the teachers would lay down their tools and say, we are not working. Now, if you look at that particular aspect of him, it would show you that, yes, this is a man who may have all his issues, but could also find a way in dealing with problems when these problems surface. Look, there were problems with free SHS. There still are problems with free SHS. And I'm going to say that all of them have had a role to play. But most importantly, it would be important to admit that in the midst of the implementation of this policy, when it's all started, he was the one tasked with ensuring the success of the program. And so, if it started, took off, and then we had double track. Now, while we complain about double track, I remember very well having a conversation with Patrick Iwa of Ashesi at a point in time. And he said he didn't see anything wrong with a double track system because he actually felt that a system where secondary school buildings, had a period of 4 months of non-usage was not the best. And so if we could put it to good use and have more people in school, fair enough. But just that I think that the double track could have been better. Today, it is better. But also because in the past, the government started the construction of more classrooms, more dormitories to be able to accommodate the growing numbers, and which started when he was Education Minister. Kojo, no vice president can decide not to work with the president. Because if you are prepared, and in this case, everybody who's wanted to become running mate to Dr. Bawumia has lobbied for it. You get my point? Mm-hmm. And all these persons who are lobbying for it, they know that you are going to be, if I could borrow Dr. Bawumia's word, a driver's mate. So you are not going there, and even though President Akufo-Addo would say that he's not unwise to believe that he's the only person who has ideas, you're not going there and whatever happens, it is the president's ideals, ideas, visions, policy that you are going to implement. At best, the party would have certain programs and policies that it may deem necessary, and you will be tasked with implementing it. Look, Vice President Dr. Bawumia, in his vision statement, told us the role that was given to him. You've heard John Mahama telling us the role that will be given to Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman if he's elected. I think that we're getting to the level where over time vice presidents will be giving roles to perform. And any vice president, if you're giving roles to perform, you just would have to perform those roles. Because look,
is that not making an assumption that making an assumption that puts aside the obvious unique nature of Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh? The temperament that we are talking about is unique to him.
Well, I mean,
do you remember what happened between Rawlings and his vice president, Aka?
Yes.
So it's not automatic that they will just toe the line and do their job, is it?
Well, I know, and for many of us who saw Napo when he got to Parliament first, Raymond, I'm sure you saw him when he got to Parliament first. As member of Parliament for Menchia at the time. He, as one of the young people who had come to Parliament, was put on the Appointments Committee. I do not see a Kensanaka and Rawlings situation in Napo and Bawumia ticket if Dr. Bawumia decides to go with Matthew Opoku-Prempeh. If you listen to the conversations within the NPP, Napo has a bigger ambition. And if he has a bigger ambition, and then the only important thing for him is if he gets the nod And if his party wins, he would have to wait, serve, so that just as Akufo-Addo did for Bawumia, Bawumia would do for Napo. And if you've seen how Napo, for many people who have shared pictures of him kneeling in front of Akufo-Addo and Bawumia, it's only an indication that when it matters the most, if he has to play the game to get his boss's blessing, he would do that. This is not somebody who would go into a chamber with his boss and go and fight, because at the end of the day, if you fight, while the Constitution may protect your tenure within the next 4 years, we saw it in Rawlings' situation. Accra didn't come back, and Accra became a vice presidential candidate for Kufuor, with Professor John Evans Atame was assuming vice presidential candidate for Jerry John Rawlings.
Well, I mean, his temperament hasn't stopped his ambition hasn't quelled his temperament now. Why are we so sure that it would quell his temperament if he became running mate? He has always had this ambition, as we have been made to understand. It hasn't stopped him from talking about polythene bags and telling us to go and make our own timetable. And his ambition never stopped him from doing those things.
Well, but I mean, what his ambition has led him to doing in relation to the people he wants to work with and the people under whom he wants to serve is to show all of us some humility in front of them. And that's why I say that, look, people sometimes may have issues with communicating. And like Raymond has said, these are things that over a period, and because, look, for anybody who saw him when he got to Parliament, at the time, was one of them. I mean, he came with the same time with Atachia, Joe Sewusu, very well. He's older than me, so I can't call him fine young man. But you know, at the time when he got there. But I mean, to be very honest with you, in politics, it depends a lot on what people tell you. J. Kufuor had a strategy of keeping people who were not key players in his government close to him. And the reason he kept those players close to him was to have a feeling of the true situation on the ground. In our politics, people seeking favors always try to make others look bad. And if you believe them, and it's something politicians do all the time, they only get into a position to realize they made a mistake. If you believe them, you would hate a lot of people, because also it's in the interest of those same people to make sure that you don't open up to a lot of people, because when you do, then they would lose their daily bread. So look, I believe this, and I think I may have said it before, that in deciding to choose a running mate, Dr. Bawumia would also decide to choose somebody who has attributes he may not have. Kojo, Raymond, let's be honest here. In the Ashanti region, of all the people whose names were mentioned, if you were to ask the delegates in the Ashanti region to choose one person, they would choose Matthew Poku Prempeh.
In the end, would it be the delegates that make this
decision? Well, in the end, like I indicated...
Is it because of this survey saying so?
No, because of this survey. But like I was saying...
another survey that's suggesting that.
If you go around the Ashanti region...
Which most of the region are you talking about?
You know, one of the NPP leading members told me the last time that, he had suggested to Dr. Bawumia to go around and, present at least some 3 names and get a people's stake. But everywhere they went, the people mentioned Napo. But what I am saying is that, what do you want as NPP in deciding you want a running mate?
Why? Based on what?
Based on the fact that he is in touch with the rank and file, and the rank and file within the NPP in the Ashanti region appreciate his efforts.
And this is based on the survey that we've just been discussing.
And based on my own analysis that I have done.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a qualitative analysis. You can challenge it, but that's based on what I have done. And you can go around and ask the NPP in the Ashanti region.
Well, I think this election is going to be interesting. No matter how you slice it, it's going to be an interesting one.
But could you just a brief point on that? Virtually every time a party has to choose a running mate, a lot of jostling happens. Sometimes positioning, sometimes fake or real reports. Sometimes you even have to meet and engage media people and take their views on who they will think will be the right person in there. I did not think that, and this is not the first time State Security or any grouping is doing a survey, that it required a survey to endorse Mahmoud Bawumia as running mate to President Akufo-Addo himself. I did not think that it required even 20% of that thinking. And I'm not so sure if a survey had determined today, perhaps based on popularity, and the other term that's also introduced in this survey, charisma, that John Dramani Mahama should keep Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyeman. It appears quite novel that, well, you need an endorsement of that thought one way or the other through a survey of this sort. That is where the difficulty arises in my head. So if the survey had, for example, said it should be Winston Amwa, because the people are of the opinion Winston Amwa has perhaps more qualities and is a preferred candidate, or more popular, or has more charisma, would this suggestion still be fronted to Mahmoud Bawumia tomorrow that please pick Winston Amwa, and that Winston Amwa is the ideal candidate? I don't know. I'm just exercising my mind on.
Well, I told
point.
you, in my mind, there's a confirmatory research.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
In my mind, there's a confirmatory research. I'm sure Ubeche can get us a bit of music. We'll come back.
On the confirmatory research.
on that confirmatory note.
Just before we go, a quick check on the survey that we put up. Let's see where we are, if anything has changed. The numbers don't seem to be changing with much significance, just one odd figure here or there. But let's see. At the moment, okay, there is a little bit of movement. So following our conversation, the yes vote has moved to 21%. The no is at 71%, and the maybes are at 8%. So still an overwhelming no. Out of 394 votes on X. The question was, do you think Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh will be a good vice presidential candidate? Take a break. We'll be back after these.
When you want to eat, just Momo it. Tired of the long queues in the supermarket? Pay with Momo. When you really want that beautiful new blouse, just Momo it. When you want to get a trim and get fresh to impress you know who, just Momo it. When you need to pay your utility bills and domestic staff, Shani Momo. When you want to send love to the family back home, send some Momo. Join the millions of MTN Momo users all over Ghana and live life the brighter way. So just Momo it. MTN.
We at the Multimedia Group are proud to announce that we are the official free-to-air radio broadcast right owners for Euro 2024. These rights were acquired from Sporty TV, who are the official free-to-air broadcast right owners for Ghana and Nigeria. We will deliver live commentary of selected games, including the opening game and the final, with our team of talented commentators and seasoned analysts on Joy FM, Love FM, Hits FM, Adom FM, Insura FM, and Asempa FM. Apart from the live radio commentary, the Multimedia Group has also curated some custom Euro 2024 shows on radio, TV, and digital, as well as live viewing events, all aimed at delivering unparalleled experiences of the competition for our audience. The 24-team competition, being hosted by Germany, will run from June 14 to July 11, 2024. The Multimedia Group's radio broadcast coverage of the Euro 2024 tournament is by kind courtesy of Sporty TV and Sporty Bet. Watch selected matches of Euro 2024 live on Sporty TV, channel 36 on your digital TV sets. And the Joy Sports coverage of Euro 2024 is sponsored by NASCO. NASCO, bring home happiness.
Dive into a new era of news consumption with myjoyonline.com, your go-to destination for cutting-edge journalism, giving you the most credible stories from business to politics and from sports to entertainment. Myjoyonline.com introduces an upgraded news website meticulously designed to empower you with an enriched browsing experience like never before. Experience the future of news browsing with myjoyonline.com.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy.
Yeah. Everyone is looking at me with
Sporty
questions
thieves.
in it. Sporty thieves, yes.
If you ever get there,
they are not 40, they are sporty.
Because I know and Alibaba and the
40 thieves, yes. They are the original gangsters.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Listen, the new order of retirement is here. Now you can retire on your own terms with a guaranteed monthly income for the rest of your life. Yeah. Simply invest a lump sum into the Old Mutual Retirement Salary Plan today and start receiving monthly income to enjoy the perfect retirement. It's that easy. Best part is you get to enjoy salary increase. So 16% in 2023-24. Call Old Mutual on 050-453-4333 or go to oldmutual.com or just dial star 789 star 01 hash to request a call. Obrapa ahotonkwa. Old Mutual, do great things every day.
And Joe Metal Ministries is thrilled to announce the return of its annual Praise Reloaded concert. And this year is going to be bigger and better than ever before. The theme is Holy Spirit Encounter, and you can expect a lineup of anointed gospel ministers, including MOG, Ohima Mercy, Pastor Isaiah, Nathaniel Bassi, Sumisola Abebi, Kofi Prepra, Luigi McLean, and Nwunyam Team Eternity Ghana, Sandra Bachidia, Kwekute, and CT Praise, and so many more. It's on the 30th of June 2024, because Praise Reloaded is set to take place at the Accra Sports Stadium. And the best part is it's absolutely free, but you have to register on joemetalmusic.com to secure your seat. Gates open at 1 and the event starts at 3 p.m. Sponsor Silicon House Productions, High End Productions, Greenline Juice and Smoothie, Big Ideas Consult, the Family Health Organization, Tank Palace Hotel, Joburg Ghana Limited, Africa World Airlines, iPay Ace Protocol Services, Timeline Creative, Access Security, 360 Productions, DDP, Media Partner, Joy Entertainment.
Now, the Multimedia Group, they are the official free-to-air radio broadcast right owners of Euro 2024. Of course, we will deliver live commentary of selected games, including the opening game and the final, with our team of talented commentators. And the analysts on Joy FM, Love FM, Hits FM, Adum FM, Insure FM, and Asempa FM. Apart from the live radio commentary, the group has also curated custom Euro 2024 shows on radio, TV, and digital, as well as live viewing events, all aimed at delivering unparalleled experience of the competition to our audience. The Multimedia Group's radio broadcast coverage of the Euro 2024 tournament is by courtesy of Sporty TV and Sporty Bet. Watch selected matches of Euro 2024 live on Sporty TV channel 36 on your digital TV sets. The Joy Sports coverage of Euro 2024 is sponsored by NASCO. Bring home happiness.
All right. Well, don't forget to go to kingdomstoreonline.com. Pick up the very best quality office essentials, equipment, furniture, stationery from Kingdom Books. Pay via Momo. Great prices as well. And they'll deliver for free if you're in Accra or Tema. Terms and conditions apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks. Now, guys, before we go, today happens to be the birthday of Kwame Sevakai.
Yes.
Oh,
Chairman General.
Chairman General.
Yes.
And, of course, the
host of my bald brother.
Kukruku on Peace FM. Now, I'll never forget the first time I saw Kwame Sevakai. I was a kid. And you guys are going to laugh at this. But I saw him in Cape Coast. He was the MC for Embassy Pleasure.
Barracuda.
And I was in the audience.
Not a kid.
No,
I was a kid. Yeah,
you were going to perform.
No, I was in the audience.
Your time was Poncho. That
you see, when you do these things, you force her to do further and better introspection and investigation.
And please, and I remember watching
contestant number 15.
I was very
contestant number 15. Yes.
He could speak so many different languages with all the different contestants, and that was really great. And here's an interesting Kwame Sevakai memory before we go. You know, when I started this job, before my first day on air, Kofi Ansah took me on a drive through town. He took me to this estate in Accra. And when we drove through the security gates, it was like we had entered England. Wonderful, big, beautiful buildings. Then he took me to one house that had a massive Edinkra sign on the gate. And he said, "This is Kwame Sevakai's house. Work hard, and you can also have a house like that one day."
Okay, on that note, happy birthday, Chairman General. Folks, Have a
it's 10 o'clock. Have a wonderful day.